The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
It's Monday morning.
Oh, boy, Monday morning.
I'm not a Monday guy.
Happy National Aviation Day.
There was a fight on my airplane. We couldn't even take off. Someone got their ass kicked on the flight. I mean, just do what you're told. If I'm on an airplane and 4 stormtroopers get on my plane with flak jackets on that say security, and they come right to my row and tell me, hey, you're gonna have to get up. I'm up. I am so sorry. Do I just pick up my voucher here and wait 14 days for the next flight? That sounds totally fair to me.
The emergency exit row seat. Does anyone take that when they fly? She comes up to you, the stewardess. She goes, sir, if we needed you to, could you open that door? And you go, yep. And that's it! There is no training or psychological assessment. If that's an important job, which I suspect it is, I want the people to be screened. I was walking onto the plane the other day. The guy in the exit row seat had spilt a milkshake all down his front. This is the guy. When the hits the fan at 30,000 feet, our lives are in the hands of milkshake Mike over here.
And we're back in 3, 2.
Okay, ladies, showtime.
Man. All right, let's go ahead with this. The Monday edition of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Josh, light of my life. This morning, I think we should take our time. Maybe we should keep the noise level and the pace of the program in a lower gear for starters.
You know I'm always cool with that.
Because I think the past few days have destroyed some people. And they'd appreciate maybe a lighter, gentler approach. I mean, think about what's been going on here in town over the last few days. And tell me if I go sideways here, Josh. Pantera played a show in town last Thursday night.
Yep, First Avenue.
Metallica Friday night. Green Day Saturday night. Metallica again last night.
Also, Creed, Treasure Island on Saturday night, too.
Creed Saturday night, Def Leppard tonight. A few people have texted in, said they're on their way there. A couple people texted in, said they went to both Metallica shows. Man. And also, I learned that we are now 98X from here until the end of eternity. I got so many texts last night from people saying, hey, you guys are now 98X. Ivan Moody of Five Finger Death Punch, I guess, was thanking Pablo, our afternoon gentleman, for playing Five Finger Death Punch. And he said, something about really appreciate 98X. No.
Adjust your presets, everybody.
Well, these friggin' rock stars, they don't know what the hell end is up, We've had staff even get the name wrong, You know what I mean? So I'm not too upset with a rock star.
Well, I don't think anybody's upset, but I think in the guise of, hey, we really appreciate it. You guys have been so good to us over the years. We're big fans. 98X.
There you go. Well, maybe from here on out is how you say it. Should we come up with an alternate name for that band?
Five Finger Death Punch?
Yeah, you want to go somewhere with that?
Such a unique name, though. What do you say?
Oh, I'm trying to come up with one.
We just go eight-finger death punch?
No.
Stick with the 8?
Five-finger tongue punch.
Sure.
That's kind of fun.
That is fun.
All right.
It's perfect.
Text us, by the way, 651-989-9393. And feel free to tell us how you're feeling after all that you've been through. Because that's a serious acid rock gauntlet. And like Josh mentioned, if you're totally out of your mind, maybe you're also signing up for tonight's show at the Twins ballpark over there. Who was it? Def Leppard, Journey, Cheap Trick, Steve Miller. Am I missing one? Did I add one?
I didn't know Cheap Trick was going to be there.
Yeah, I think you added that one.
All right, yeah.
Surprise appearance.
What's that?
Surprise appearance.
I'd be cool with that.
Sweet.
I knew there was some combination of 70s and 80s and all that. I mean, it's been a hell of a deal.
Saturday also I was out at Ford for a while, and I know you guys did some bowling with Metallica, or with some members of their road crew.
Right.
So I wanted to thank everybody who came out. Finishes halfway in, Jesus. He just texted in. I'd asked him to let me know how Creed was. Said they blew the doors off the place. They were great.
I bet they did.
And they drove, I thought he said like an hour and something to race out to Ford. Did they come see you guys at Memory Lane Saturday night?
Who were these guys?
Finishes halfway in, Jesus.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I met anyone at the Metallica thing Saturday afternoon that was coming straight from seeing you. They didn't mention that.
All right, yeah. There was a few people there that showed up. It was really cool that they made it out. I saw Orange Crush. A gentleman brought out his orange Cadillac. Pete.
Yeah, Pete. Good dude.
Yeah, he showed up. Or I'm sorry, I said Cadillac. I meant a Corvette. His orange Corvette that he called Orange Dream.
You guys, you know this guy?
I did. Not until Saturday. I met him Saturday, but Dana knows him.
I know him. He got the same hair transplant procedure that I did, so we've become buddies over that.
I hope you don't mind me saying this, but his looks a lot better.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I mean,
I've
honestly,
seen pictures.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. He sends me photos.
His looks really good.
Uh-huh.
What happened, dude?
What? Mine looks good.
Not as good as his, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Dude, that's great. How did you guys become friends? We got the same hair transplant procedure. That's good stuff.
Uh-huh. It's a unique bond.
Oh, God. So, yeah, thank you to everyone at Memory Lanes in Minneapolis. Dana and I and a few other members of the 93X staff went bowling Saturday, like Josh mentioned, with the not the 93X road crew, because we don't go anywhere, the Metallica road crew, and some listeners and some big-time Metallica fans. It was a pretty cool event. What I didn't know was the Metallica road crew has been doing this bowling showdown town to town to town throughout this entire tour.
Oh, that's awesome.
They came prepared. They had their own shoes, their own ball, everything.
Oh, really?
They're big-time bowlers, these guys
Matching
were.
shirts.
Uh-huh.
Matching shirts.
Saturday was such a busy day for me. I wanted to come see you guys. I was actually right in the neighborhood, but you wrap up about 6.
Yeah, I got the hell out of there a little before 6.
So I didn't get done till a little after that, and I had thought maybe you guys were already gone.
Well, it went late because it was a big competition because the winning lane, the two listeners that got snake pit passes for Sunday's show, which is that spot right in the middle of the stage. And so everybody really wanted to win. And the cool part was when our promotions director, and she told me, all right, here's a winning lane. Go announce that they're the winners. But then here's a surprise. After they celebrate, let everybody know that everybody is getting snake pit passes. So everybody got to get in the snake pit. So it was pretty fun.
Oh, so that's really cool because some guys that came out to Ford Saturday had gone to the previous night's show and said the snake pit looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, one guy was saying that they were like $5,000 a piece. He tried to get some, and they're like $5,000. So what a cool prize.
Yeah, it really was. Everybody's very excited, obviously.
Oh, so everyone, I left before this happened. Every listener who won their way into this bowling tournament, they all got to go to the special seats.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Well, that people must have been wetting their pants.
They were pretty fired up.
People were tearing each other's arms loose and kicking each other in the ass for a Metallica guitar pick at this event. I can only imagine how they reacted when they were told they were going into the snake pit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The Metallica road crew people were very, very nice people. And, that's what they've been doing with their days off the whole tour. At least that's what I was told. With their days off, they go bowling. So this was just one of many bowling events they've had on this tour. And Dana and I, for not bowling for years, I thought we held our own pretty nicely. Got into triple digits.
Yeah, each game. We did pretty well for ourselves, I thought.
And I did not feel the pain the next day. I did not. I was anticipating great pain the next day because over the last few years when I have bowled, I've been sore as a sumbitch the next day. I didn't get it this time around, so I don't know what I was doing right or wrong, but I came out of it fairly pain-free, Cubby.
I'm in the opposite boat today. I helped my stepdaughter move on Saturday. It was a humbling experience. I am not in the shape I had assumed I was in. There was a time I was telling Nick off air, I legitimately thought I was dead. I thought that I had gone too hard. And it wasn't even, it was carrying this particular dresser up these, there's like 8 flights of stairs to get up there. It's super tight, these old wooden stairs. And so there was a time where my wife and stepdaughter, they were doing something in her room, kind of getting ready, and I just kind of snuck away, and I laid on their table sweating with my heart hurt. It was pounding so hard. I was trying to hide it, but I thought, I'm about 10 seconds away from a heart attack.
Oh, no.
I can't believe I'm this out of shape.
See, again, you mentioned this off air. I don't know if there is an in shape for such a task. A big, fat-ass dresser, narrow stairs. I mean, there is no in shape for that.
Well, it was like one of the first things we did, and I still thought, like, I'd be doing a little better than that.
Well, it serves you right.
And I had to hide how miserable I was. I was embarrassed.
You shouldn't be embarrassed, but I am a little angry with you. I do think it serves you right for volunteering for such nonsense. What the hell is a near 50-year-old man doing helping 20-year-olds move?
Well, I learned a lesson.
agree.
Like I said, very, very humbling. Yes, to Medical Device Jesus and a couple other people, we did mention the 98 Rock Radio mention from Ivan Moody instead of 93X. That's pretty funny stuff.
Oh, I want to say hello to Travis and other Travis. Those were the 93X listeners who I got to bowl with on Saturday afternoon over at Memory Lanes.
That made it easy.
Nice fellas. But, on top of all the shows that have been going on, and there's got to be some serious overhangs in town since last Thursday. On top of that, we got folks coming home from Brainerd International Raceway, from the NHRA Nationals. So our sympathy goes out to every one of you because you gotta be hurting a little bit.
There's probably a few people that are hoping for a blood transfusion today. What they poisoned their systems with the last few days.
Oh, use one of those mobile IV places.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever used those?
No.
I've seen
heard
them,
about them.
Yeah,
say
those
it
are
out
so
loud
fancy.
again.
They're mobile IV services. So they'll come like right to your home and give you a bag of some good stuff. Some
And this is all legal?
potassium. Yeah, yep. Whatever you need to, like, they have like specific, like, because they have a menu. And so there will be even like a hangover cocktail. Whatever will help you.
I've never heard of
get
this.
better.
You've used this service?
I think you've mentioned this
haven't,
before.
but I've heard great things about them.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm not making a phone call and some dude drives up in a van and he's got a backpack full of fluids to put into my body.
Ashley, I've seen enough vampire movies to know that's how you become vampire food.
If I'm getting blood or potassium or something like that, I'm going to go to a hospital.
I get it.
What in the living hell are you signing yourself up for these days?
Yeah, are we the only ones that it makes a little nervous?
It did make me nervous until I have like a couple friends that have tried it and done it, and they swear by it. So
Ashley, I got nervous buying meat from a unmarked van once when he was going around the neighborhood. I can't imagine letting somebody inject me with something.
So $300 for the hangover IV. I think I'll just stick with Gatorade.
I'm not trying to besmirch somebody's business. I'm just saying that seems like you should be cautious about it.
$300. How about I just go spend $8-10 at the McDonald's friggin' drive-thru,
That's what I was gonna say.
and then have a few beers and go back to bed.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. And wouldn't you feel even worse about yourself? Oh, I have such a bad hangover. I have to call someone to put an IV in my arm and pay $300 for it.
Yeah, I might think that I got to make some changes in my
I'm
life.
like, all right, next time maybe not drink so much.
It would be funny if this whole thing was just a front. Like when you sign up for the $300 hangover cure, it's actually just an intervention. Your parents and stuff show up.
Ashley, do you have any other invaluable advice for when people aren't feeling well? Have you guys heard of heroin?
Social anxiety, Jesus said they're 100% legit. I know people that have used them. They're actual nurses, not some bums.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, well, still, I
would hope so.
I'm going to have Cubby give me a ride to the doctor's office. That's what I'm going to do.
Your IV is more than your barb tab was last night.
You know who's going to die young is our program director. Again, back to all this madness that's been rolling through town the last few days. I saw our program director, a guy by the name of Derek, saw him Saturday afternoon. He was part of the bowling party. He went to Pantera, Metallica, Green Day, and then Metallica again last night.
That's too many events.
I saw him, like I said, Saturday afternoon. He was pouring sweat. His breathing was labored. I think the clock is ticking on this dude.
That's his lifestyle. I mean, that's like every weekend for him. He goes out of town to go to different shows. He's always doing something like that.
He does way too much.
Oh, he travels to go to all these. It's like almost every weekend he's out of town.
I was going to say, last weekend, wasn't it like Lollapalooza or something?
Yeah, he was in Chicago.
Yeah.
He goes to all the shows.
Yep.
And he's a horrible bowler.
Is he bad?
Yeah. I peeked over at his score a couple times. I was like, ooh, bad, man.
He was really struggling.
he was.
He sucks.
Oh, no.
At bowling.
I thought he kind of had some of those skills. Like, I thought he had some bar skills or drinking, things you do with drinking skills. I guess not. Huh?
Like darts or, something
maybe
like
he's terrific at darts and cribbage or whatever. But, yeah, bowling, he sucks at bowling.
I've seen him put a lot of dollar bills and G-strings and stuff like that. I can tell you he's very good at that.
So 5-finger tongue punch called us 98X.
That's good.
All right.
There's a couple people saying we should get 98X T-shirts at the fair.
Oh, man, there you go. Oh, well then there's something else out there called hangxiety.
Oh, that's the worst. I hate that feeling.
There's good old-fashioned overhangs. There's hearing loss from too many acid rock shows. There's just being exhausted from doing too damn much. And then there's hangxiety. Maybe some of you are feeling that. Or I guess maybe you felt it more yesterday. I think hangxiety is, you drink yourself sideways and as you're approaching the work week, so that would be yesterday. We're all officially checked in now. As you're approaching the work week, you're overcome by hangxiety. Ashley sounds familiar with it.
Oh, yeah, it's a really bad feeling. It's like...
I mean, isn't that just hating your job or just dreading the work week?
I thought this was more like real anxiety, like racing thoughts and, questioning life choices.
Oh,
you're feeling you maybe don't remember some things that happened and you're worried about that.
Mm-hmm. I can mostly feel
shame,
it
guilt.
like in my body. It's not even what I'm thinking about. It's just that my body, I can tell that like I'm on the verge of like almost like an anxiety attack all day.
Well, here's what it says. If you're just a social drinker, the hangxiety will last less than a day, but for the heavy drinkers, the feeling can be almost chronic and last for days on end.
Oh my gosh, that would be absolutely terrible.
Okay, maybe I don't fully understand what hangxiety is yet. I'm just becoming familiar with it.
My heart's definitely kicking a lot more when when I'm going through something like that.
All right. You got to tough it out.
Yeah, supposedly that's a legit thing.
Usually sleeping
really
again helps.
Go back to sleep?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but if I get too much sleep when I really beat myself up with the drinking, if I get too much sleep, then I just turn into an absolute zombie. I can feel my heart rate is at like 9 beats a minute. You know what I mean? Just getting up off the couch, you get lightheaded. I don't think too much sleep is a bad idea in that situation. But then again, I'm not all that familiar with hangxiety. Maybe what I'm speaking to is just a straight up overhang. I don't know.
You could also be just like I think some people might be dreading this week checking their bank accounts after everything that happened over the weekend. Maybe realize I spent how much on tequila? Oh, no.
One of the best feelings, though, it's only happened maybe twice in my life, is going on and realizing, oh, I didn't spend as much as I thought I did. That usually cures my hangover if I have one.
Well, I don't know if I've ever had that feeling. It's always more than I thought I did.
Yeah, always.
all of this just makes me think back to how hard I used to be able to go. And those days are over. They're over. It just makes me think back to how hard I used to be able to go. Multiple days in a row. Man, those were fun times, but they were also miserable times. How horrible I felt some mornings coming in here. I mean, just horrible. Those days are gone. They are. They're officially gone. I mean, maybe I F off. What do we got coming up? We're going to go to Wisconsin again in October. Hey, I might go a little too far one, but just that day after day after day after day, all day kind of thing. That's why I'm so impressed, I guess is the word, with our program director, Derek, who's my age. I don't know what he's doing, but he's still hitting it.
Maybe he's getting those mobile IVs going.
I could see him doing something like that.
I could too, actually.
He's plugged into all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's got a lifestyle of somebody half his age. Going to every event, certainly every concert. He's always got a new girl. He's all over the place. It's too much.
Stay tuned to the program this morning. Coming up at 8 a.m., we got something or another to tell you about. It's another drinking event. You see? Right when we're trying to get Derek to slow down. Our program director, Derek, here comes another drinking event. We'll spit that at you around 8 o'clock in the morning. Randy Shaver feeling well enough to broadcast this morning? Last Friday, he missed the program. Anybody talk to Randy Shaver?
No, I was just going to ask if anybody talked to him over the weekend.
I guess we'll friggin' find out.
I'm assuming he'll be on because he didn't send a text.
So what else is going on? Did I miss anything from over the weekend?
I think we covered quite a bit right there.
If tonight's Def Leppard show was maybe a Friday or a Saturday, would you consider going, Josh? I mean, that's one of your favorite all-time acts.
Yeah, I've missed them I've seen them so many times, and it's not the same. But the last couple weeks, I've been watching a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff they've been filming. It's a lot of fun. They're such likable guys that I do wish it was a weekend. I would like to go. And I love seeing Journey. Steve Miller.
I've never seen Journey.
Steve Miller will be there. He's going to be there.
He will also be present.
Yep, he's performing.
Can you answer me a question that likely almost nobody in our listening audience cares to know the answer to?
Sure.
But that certainly wouldn't be the first time But who's left in Journey? Because I heard they had some big breakup.
Yeah, there was like some legal stuff going on.
Oh yeah, they've been hating each other for years now. Can you look up the current touring? Is Ross Valerie still in Journey? Is Jonathan Cain still in Journey?
The last remaining original member is Neil.
Okay, Sean.
Wow, he's an incredible guitar player.
No Ross Valerie? No Jonathan Cain?
Jonathan Cain's still in there.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Jonathan Cain, Jason Derlotka, whatever that is.
Yeah, that means nothing.
And Dean Castronovo. Oh,
okay.
That's a sweet name.
He's a great drummer.
Todd Jensen.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, Dean Castronovo, he's been their drummer on and off for quite a few years. Although the last time I saw him, Steve Smith was back in the band. Oh, my God. And here we go.
And it's Arnell Pernate or whatever.
Arnell, right?
He's still singing.
I mean, Steve Smith, he was their drummer during the glory days, the absolute glory days, right? And he rejoined the band. I don't know how many years ago this was, 5, 6, 7 years. He rejoined the band, and I got to admit, I said, what the hell did they bring Steve Smith back for to play in that? Steve Smith was never that great of a... Sure, he played on faithfully in a separate way, but why did they bring back Steve Smith? He's a boring drummer. I don't need to see Steve. And then I saw the show, and Steve Smith was friggin' incredible. I was like pulling on the T-shirt of the 71-year-old guy standing in the crowd next to me. I'm like, that's friggin' Steve Smith, dude. And he said, I know it's Steve Smith. And I said, I didn't want him back. And the guy said, I didn't either. But he was back on. He did a drum solo. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
God dang.
Gosh, they used to look so cool. I'm looking at a picture of them from 1981. They
Okay,
look
hang on a
sweet.
second. Journey never really looked cool.
I actually was surprised to hear someone, especially a young person, say that.
Now, Ashley.
Maybe it's because they just look so much different. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry I blew up. You're new to this. For many years, the only guy in Journey who knew how to look cool was Neil Schon.
Yep.
Neil Schon always looked cool, but the rest of the band just didn't. They didn't. And that's part of the reason why they get made fun of on hip video shows, right? Yeah. I mean, that's why they always make fun of the video for Separate Ways, because they all look like absolute morons, with the exception of Neil Schon. He couldn't help it.
Is he the big hair one?
Well, he's had, big curly hair.
Okay, he definitely looks the coolest.
I had a couple of his solo albums back in the day and really liked them. Like Late Night, I think that was his late 80s, maybe 89 maybe.
He had a band called Late Night?
No, his solo albums.
Okay. So before tonight's show, you guys all have my number, right?
Yes.
My cellular telephone number. If you find out that Steve Smith has rejoined Journey sometime this afternoon, I will go to tonight's show. Or, of course, Steve Perry. I mean, I would...
Oh, wow.
I would quit this job. Quit this job to see Steve Perry sing with Journey again.
That would be badass.
I would give this...
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Josh, all of this...
Really? Whoa, man. Wow. What a statement.
I would give it up.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Probably never happened, but that would be awesome.
To see him sing... I mean, there's so many songs that I'd love to see him sing with Journey again. The list is almost endless. Especially if Neil Schon and Ross Valerie and Jonathan Cain and Steve Smith are all there together, okay? But the one, I'd say, what's that? And now I can't think of the title. Still They Ride. That's the one I want. And I'm sure he can't do it the way he did in 1981, but it's called Still There. Jesse rides through the night under the
Main Street light?
Yeah, and still they ride.
I haven't seen him in a long time. Like YouTube usually will throw that kind of thing at me. Have you?
Seen them?
Seen him like on Steve Perry. You haven't seen him on...
No.
YouTube performing? Is he still performing? Even?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think I got the right song title there. But anyway, you're a terrific crowd. Here, I started the segment by saying we ought to dummy things down, and I ended the break on a wild rant about the completely forgotten drummer from Journey, and even tried to sing to you a little bit. I contradicted the entire vibe that I attempted to create. So what's hurting worst on you, Josh? The quads?
No, lower back and pride.
Back.
Pride number one, lower
Pride.
back second.
Pride really took a hit then.
Dude, like I said,
Really
I was
took a hit.
embarrassed and shocked at how out of shape I am. I really thought I was going to be doing a lot better than I did.
Most people stop moving, you know what I'm saying, themselves or friends when they hit 30. Here's Josh still trying to do it as he closes in on 50 years old.
Yep.
For completely able-bodied college students.
I'm done. I've retired.
Oh.
I can't do it anymore.
We got to get going again. We'll be back in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show. I knew the gas would get me.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Good to see you, Bruce Feldman, the Big 12 landscape. I just know how Dion is, where he's coming from. His wins are measured differently. The question is, as you said, it's got to go from 4 to 8.
I think they can do that. It would be hard not to get better considering how bad they were on the offensive line last year. Now, their schedule actually feels harder this year than it was last year.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, you know, we've been rapping a little bit about all the folks suffering from overhangs this morning. Because over the weekend, I mean, Metallica twice, Green Day, what did you tell me? Who else played? Creed,
yeah.
There was BIR.
Pantera Thursday.
Pantera was Thursday. Brainerd had the big NHRA party over the weekend. I mean, many of you are in great pain. And I've received a few text messages on that pain and discomfort. Copenhagen Long Cut Jesus checked in. Love the check-ins. Our number is 651-989-9393. Anytime you want to just check in and let us know you're there. Copenhagen Long Cut Jesus checked in. Not enough sleep and working way too early, he says, but the Metallica shows were fantastic. Plural, shows. He must have went to both of them. Public excellence, pubic excellence Jesus, excuse me. Pubic excellence Jesus went to both Metallica shows. He's up listening to us now, even though he is dragging ass.
Oh, I'll bet.
We appreciate that very much. Angry postal worker Jesus won tickets from this year radio station to go see Green Day Saturday night. She says it was amazing, but yesterday morning she felt like she was ready for the nursing home.
We've all been there.
Itty bitty teeny tiny, I'll get this, itty bitty teeny tiny eeny weeny Jesus. He is 4'8", and he says he spent 4 hours in the mosh pit this weekend.
It's dangerous for somebody that height.
Didn't indicate which shows he was moshing for, but he did put in 4 hours in the mosh pit. Couldn't walk at work last night, he said.
Boy, I'll tell you, I watched some videos people posted from the Thursday night Pantera show at First Avenue, and a lot of them were talking about how Robert and Kirk from Metallica joined them for Walk, right?
Oh,
Pantera
yeah.
song Walk. So I was watching that, and one of the guys that was the guy that was filming it, he kind of turned around with his camera and he's filming the mosh pit, and I had anxiety just watching from the comfort of my bed. I thought, how do people do this?
I don't know.
I mean, I've been to those Pantera shows where you see the circle among circles and circles, all these different people, and I think, that is terrifying.
I could never handle it. Even when I was young, I couldn't handle the mosh pit.
I couldn't handle a Pearl Jam mosh pit when I was a sophomore in high school.
Right.
I thought I was going to die.
All right. Also, something we covered earlier, there's a show tonight yet at Target Field. You got your Def Leppard and Journey and Steve Miller, and I think that's everybody, right?
As far as I know.
Mm-hmm. We got to talking about Journey. Ashley made a cute comment. She looked at a picture of Journey from 1981 and said, you know what? They looked cool. I had to dispute that, being a lifelong Journey fan. It was rare that group of guys ever looked cool. That's just the way it was. Neil Sean always looked cool. The rest of the guys struggled. They were just kind of a dorky looking group of guys.
Most people, though, when they have a guitar around their neck, they kind of look cool, right?
Yeah.
Or saxophone. One of the two.
So, got a text from More Anxiety Than Hair, Jesus. I've been wanting to read this one to you, Josh, since it first crossed my path. More Anxiety Than Hair, Jesus says, you want to see some guys who look like morons? You ever see the music video for Wanted Man by Rat? A bunch of guys wearing makeup and earrings trying to look like badass cowboys. Are you nuts? That video friggin' rules. They get off the tour bus, right? And they're in the middle of the Old West, and they walk into a saloon, Even the drummer, Bobby Blotzer, says, this isn't a... One of the guys says, hey, this is a cool bar. And Bobby Blotzer says, this isn't a bar, dude. This is a saloon. And then there's
like a prostitute fight at one point.
Yeah, there's some hookers fight. All right. Here we go with the stupid friggin' news. You know, years before parents became wildly overprotective of their children, many parents, including mine, had no problem leaving their kids in the car while they went into a bar for a few drinkies or a saloon. Or maybe, you know, sometimes I think my dad just wanted to walk around the hardware store in peace without little bastards slowing the process down to a damn crawl. So they'd leave us in the car for a half hour or so. We were expected to entertain ourselves in the car while our folks had some effing fun. And there was nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. There are still some parents these days who practice that kind of parenting. And, you know, if you're going to go that route, you might want to wait till the kid is a little older than effing 3 years old. For Christ's sake. You might want to wait till they're a little older than 3. I don't know much about kids, Josh, but 3-year-olds are still fairly helpless, are they not?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
But your statement about leaving kids, that also depends on the neighborhood you grew up in. The neighborhood I grew up in, it was not safe to leave a kid, much less a CD in your vehicle.
Okay.
Quite a difference.
You might have been stolen at one point or another. Maybe wait till they're a little older than 3, and for Christ's sake, leave a window open. In Germany, a 3-year-old boy had to be rescued from a hot-ass car. Word is the kid's dad locked him inside while the old man went off to see a prostitute.
Well, it'd be irresponsible to bring the kid in, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Dad was apparently off with the prostitute for a good hour and a half. He was really going for it.
Getting his money's worth.
Oh, I bet that wasn't cheap.
So a passerby saw the little kid in the car sweating profusely. No windows down. All the windows were up. The kid sweating his seeds off. The car was said to be parked in direct sunlight.
Idiot.
The German police were called. They broke into the vehicle. They had to save this kid's life. The little 3-year-old was quickly given some water, and then they hauled him off to the hospital. Now, here's where the fun kicks in. The kid's mother was called. The kid's mother is engaged to be married to the hooker lover dude. You following that? So apparently, it was then and there that the mother realized that not only is she engaged to a guy who likes to tap prostitute ass when nobody's looking, but he's also the kind of guy that will lock their damn child in a 100-degree car while he goes off and gets drained by a hooker.
Yeah, it's kind of a big double whammy there.
I mean, this obviously could have turned out way worse. So many sad stories about kids not making it. There's some cars have features where it'll say, hey, you got a kid in the back, or check the back seat.
Wow. That's
if
pretty
it
cool.
senses there's weight back there, once you turn the car off and you're about to get out, it'll say, make sure you look back there.
Kind of like the passenger airbag thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
There are cars that will sense weight in a seat, and before you get out the car, it'll say, beep, beep, hang on.
Yeah, it'll say, like a little thing will flash up on the dash saying, make sure you check for the kid.
You forgot Johnny.
Again.
Oh, don't forget to wear a condom if you're visiting a prostitute in Germany.
Forgot your condom.
When the cops caught up with the dad, he told him a BS story about how he went to see a friend to borrow some money or some nonsense like that. He was arrested for all kinds of things. Trying to boil a child and this and that. And there was another much more brutal story a couple weeks ago out of Arizona. In this case, the kid died. 2-year-old kid died after it got left in a hot car for over 3 hours while the friggin' numbskull dad was playing video games on his PlayStation. And when the cops asked him about the kid being left to die in his car, he said, I forgot.
Oh.
That's it?
You suck.
It's terrible. This person says, the sensors in my wife's car are so sensitive, we have to buckle the seatbelt if the dog's back there. If there's groceries in the back, any weight whatsoever, it'll let them know, hey, check the back.
That would suck.
Well, I could handle that if it saves a kid.
You forgot your milk.
I saw, I was outside of Menards, and this is, 5-6 years ago, and I saw a lady freaking out, and she busted the window of a car. There was a dog. Somebody left a dog in the back, and the cops showed up and everything. The guy was kind of pissed. He said, I was just running in. What the heck? And by the way, the door's open.
Oh, no.
Didn't even check?
No, she didn't check. She busted it open.
Oh, Christ.
She always checked the knob.
Well, she was panicked. I'm sure that's the case. She's like, I'm going to rescue this dog. Didn't even think to check if the back door was open.
My brother leaves his dog in the car a lot, and he always leaves the windows open, but he still gets hollered at by people, and he's going to snap one of these days. He's going to snap. Because there are people who will still walk up on you and, well, that's not right to leave your dog. And my brother has to constantly say, the windows are friggin' open. But, there's all types out there. I've never turned anybody down when they've asked me if I'll sell them marijuana. If you want marijuana, just ask. I will sell it to you. And it's because of situations like this. This is why I'll always sell someone grass. A woman was arrested for threatening her neighbor who refused to sell her marijuanas. A woman was arrested for threatening her neighbor when her neighbor refused to sell her dope. You see what I mean? I don't need that in my life. Threats. I have enough troubles. Oh, it says here a 24-year-old gal named Jennifer. Jennifeere. So I'm going to go with Jennifer.
It could be one of those where she pronounces it Jennifer and gets mad at you if you spell it incorrectly.
I hate that.
Or you mispronounce it while reading it.
Yes, that is very possible. 24-year-old Jennifer. She asked if she could buy some of her neighbor's medical marijuanas.
I thought nobody wanted that.
Is it not as good?
It's pretty great.
Medical is pretty good.
Oh, it is? I always heard it wasn't like a thing. Like, because I was asked to be part of a medical marijuana study. And people were like, oh, that stuff's garbage. Wouldn't make a difference.
They lied to you.
Did they really?
Yeah, my brother has his medical marijuana card, and he seems like he's doing just fine with the quality.
What were they going to give you?
Pretty expensive, too.
What were they going to give you in trade, Josh, if you would have said yes to a medical marijuana experiment?
I don't know. I said no pretty quick.
Who were these people?
Well, it was set up through the Epilepsy Foundation in Minnesota.
Oh.
So somebody had contacted me. They knew them or something and said, hey, would you want to be a part of the study? And I thought, thankfully, the medication that it took a long time, but they found some medication that's controlled it for me. So I thought I don't really need it.
I've been here for 7 years and the medications don't work. So that's interesting. So did you even consider it even for a minute to?
No.
No?
And like I said, if I hadn't been able to get it under control,
right?
I had nothing to do with it. If the neurologist wasn't able to get it under, maybe I would have thought differently.
Interesting. So again, this gal asked if she could buy some of her neighbor's medical marijuana. When the neighbor said no, Jennifer is the name again, she started sending her neighbor threatening text messages and images. So scary pictures were part of the threats. Jesus, what a moron.
It's just a gif of someone stabbing someone.
Right.
I'll get you.
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a clip from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Or, whatever.
Yeah, Scream or something, running around with a knife.
This is going to be you soon.
Jennifer threatened everybody over at her neighbor's house because they didn't sell her medical-grade dope. It says here, to further intimidate the victims, Jennifer has been accused of ordering a pizza to be delivered to the victim's house. Oh, God, no.
Not a pizza.
She's been charged with, Jennifer, she's been charged with writing threats to kill or injure and other really, really stupid, embarrassing things. That's why I'll always sell you dope.
It makes it even more dumb that this person apparently needs it for medical purposes, not just recreational. You think maybe you'd understand, I can't take away their medicine from them. Jennifer. Hot Cocoa She's is back on the topic of your car alerting you that they're, don't forget your kid in the back. She said, can you imagine finding out that way that someone was in your back seat? All of a sudden you get an alert, you turn around, there's just a guy in a mask with a knife.
A buddy of mine a couple months ago, he lives out in Denver, and he said he went down to his car to go to work in the morning and realized, I forgot to shut the garage door. Whatever, gets in his car, goes to back up, and he, looks back. There's a woman sleeping, homeless woman sleeping in the back of his car.
Free homeless woman?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's terrifying, he said. He slammed on the brakes and she woke up and was like, oh, sorry. And then just got up and walked away.
Well, I guess that's the best situation that could have happened.
A buddy of mine in junior high, he got thrown out the house. His parents threw him out of the house. It's hilarious, trust me. And that's how he spent his nights for a while there, was sleeping in whatever car left the door open. Oh, man.
What a life.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You get thrown out. He's 14, gets thrown out of the house. What the hell? What would you do?
Well, I mentioned, so we moved my stepdaughter over the weekend, and she rented a U-Haul, basically, and it was covered in graffiti. It was from a neighborhood that's not the greatest neighborhood, the place we rented it from. And found out that the back was open, right? So when you slide up the little garage door looking thing in the back, we were wondering, is there going to be anybody sleeping in here?
Just a bunch of people.
And, I'm pretending I'm tough and stuff, but there was a second where my heart was going, can I handle it if there's somebody sleeping in here?
Man. Later in life, then one of my buddies drank too much, walking home, couldn't make it. I don't know why he just didn't lay down on a park bench or lay down in somebody's yard. He decided to sleep in the nearest car. He was able to pop a door open on a car, not break into it. It was just open. And he slept in the car. Well, the next morning, here comes the car owner who's just trying to go to friggin' work. And my bro is out cold in his car. My buddy, in his drunken stupor, he thought he woke up in his own car. So he thinks his car is being broken into. The real car owner just wants to get this stupid, disgusting drunk out of his car. So for at least a minute, my pal assumes he's fighting for his life and for his own car. And then right, I'm sorry, you're right. I am in your car. My bad. I will walk my sad ass the rest of the way home now.
That is fun when you're leaving a store and you're coming up to your vehicle and you realize the person you're with is walking up to the wrong vehicle. Mm-hmm. My wife has done that about 3 times. I warned her the first 2, like, hey, good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. But the last one, I just wanted to see how far she got to the handle and realized, this is the wrong vehicle.
Good times.
That is good viewing.
Now, this sounds like good entertainment, too. Some poor bastard is in trouble for possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. That's not good. That means big trouble. And he busted himself in damn dramatic fashion. He accidentally shot himself in the leg while live streaming a video on that godless social media. James Hillegart is the kid's name. He's 21. He shot himself in the leg way back on January 23rd, and this mess has just now made it to court. So back on the day that he hilariously shot himself on a live video, cops came over to see him. They found a sawed-off shotgun. They later found a second shotgun buried in his yard. In the past, this kid has posted pictures of himself with all of his guns and how do you say that, Josh?
Ammunition.
On social media. He likes to post pictures of himself with all his guns and such. So, you know.
After accidentally shooting himself while live streaming, he has earned himself a subscriber. I want to see that again.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know.
You know the type. This is his thing. You know, look at me. I've got all these guns. But, dummy, you effed up bad enough in the past where you're not allowed to have those things anymore. That's the law. So, you gone. I'm sorry, but we got to have some law. What movie? Tombstone. Did you get a chance to see the video where he air-holed himself on a live stream video, Josh?
No. Was it out there?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was going to say,
You're much more skilled in that department. I don't know if you had found the video.
I guess I didn't even look. I just read the story. Yeah, that'd be something to see. Yeah. Well, this is my favorite fire. Bam! And a sawed-off shotgun.
That's sweet.
Oh, I bet that could. It is sweet. I bet that could do some damage to a guy's leg.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! For Christ's sake, this is ridiculous. And also frightening. Friggin' Iowegians continue to be a problem. Oh, one Iowegian dude is in big trouble for attacking a homeless fella with a makeshift bayonet. Now, the dude who committed this attack, a grown adult by the name of Christopher Dorff. He looks like he's got a few screws loose. Like I said,
looked like he got his butt kicked by somebody.
Yeah, he had a shiner. Kind of a scary dude. But there's also some humor to the story when you hear about Dorff's homemade bayonet. The story says that Dorff was hanging around a homeless camp. And he had picked a victim ahead of time, okay? A victim that lived here at the homeless camp. He then attacked the guy with a BB gun that had a knife duct taped to the front.
Whoa.
The kind of thing that an uncorked 9-year-old might carry around the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what came to mind, at least for me. A BB gun with a knife taped to the barrel. Dorff shot the poor homeless guy several times in the face with the BB gun.
Oh, what a nutcase.
And then stabbed him up. And then there's this, too. Dorff told police that he realized after he stabbed the guy that he was shooting and stabbing the wrong guy.
Oh, no.
Hey, that's on me, bro. My bad.
He intended to shoot BBs at and stab some other guy. So I don't think this Dorff guy needs to be part of society anymore. He obviously doesn't get it.
Yeah, he tried. He failed. Yep, that's the end. Go away forever.
You had your shot.
Yep.
Kind of cool he made a bayonet, though.
That is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. We'll give him that.
Come on. What do you mean?
I want to see the silver lining here.
I mean, like I said, like a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I'd still think that'd be kind of cool. Now I want to go home and make one with a Nerf gun and a steak knife.
Great to see.
Oh, wait, I got a BB gun. I could make this exact same thing.
You could. You absolutely could.
Bring it in tomorrow.
And then you could play Army with the other third graders in your neighborhood. All right, real quick before you go, do you want to know about the latest something, how do I say this? The latest thing that might kill you dead?
Yeah.
Here's what I have in front of me. An eye worm that comes from the testicles of fruit flies.
I didn't realize they had testicles, I guess.
Must be some small balls.
Yeah, you're not looking close enough. So, if a swarm of fruit flies are spinning over your head anytime soon, their nuts might drop one of these eye worms on you, and then you're blind, and then soon enough you're dead.
Can you imagine taking a fruit fly money shot to the eye? Oh, God.
It's
awful.
just a fruit fly, too.
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
Do you ever get those things? Fruit flies?
Sure.
Yeah, they're so annoying.
They show up rarely. I see him now and again.
Oh, man, it's been a little while for us, but there was a time where our house was mostly fruit fly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Tiny little bastards.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so light when you swing at them, the wake of your swing just pushes them away from you.
Yeah, it's like a fruit fly matrix.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
They're dodging everything.
It's frustrating. So these worms that'll blind you and then kill you dead, they've been found in the eyes of black bears and dogs and cats, and they say, we're next. So go see a doctor if your eyes start acting funny.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt bad a little bit, only because he's my favorite player of all time. I didn't want to send him home like that, but
Send him home like that.
it just, you know what I mean? It happened, man. I felt bad.
Cubby, I'm sorry, what was that?
He'd be A1 from day one.
I think our bromance has a rival, and that is the bromance between Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant.
Oh, he loves him.
Is it two ways?
It is.
It is, yep.
Okay, I've never heard Kevin Durant say much more than he respects him or that kind of thing. But yeah, you hear A1 from day one talk a lot about
Edwards, I think, being the younger one, feels a little more obligated to express his love out loud about Kevin Durant. Durant picks and chooses his spots to where he'll express the mutual love he has for Anthony Edwards. But right there, the two of them were sitting down being interviewed by Jalen Rose, former NBA player Jalen Rose, who I love that dude on television.
He's sharp.
He's a funny guy, and it's a weird feeling because I spent pretty much all of 1992 and 93 hating Jalen Rose guts when he was a member of the Fab Five. Oh, I hated the Fab Five. But as I got older, I learned to...
Doesn't he kind of have a temper?
He did when he was a player.
Yeah, I thought he had a bit of a reputation for having a...
When he was a young kid, yeah, he could get a little wild. So anyway, A1 from day one and Kevin Durant, the Durantula, otherwise known as Slim. What the hell's the other name he has? The Slim Reaper. They were being interviewed by Jalen Rose, and Anthony said he felt bad a little bit eliminating Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns during this past round of NBA playoffs. They're in love. What can you do? They're in love.
That is sweet.
It is.
Edwards seems like such a nice guy. And you can see that, right?
So cool.
You send your hero home, without a win.
Yeah.
Of course you'd feel bad about
I can't say I've had that feeling before.
What, winning?
Yeah, just winning in general.
Not a lot of wins. He's had a lot of losses.
A lot of L's.
What are we doing here now? We've been on and off this morning. We've been talking about how much misery some of our listeners might be in this morning after a hellacious acid rock weekend. Going all the way back to last Thursday. Pantera, then Metallica, then Green Day, then Metallica did it again last night. We've been reading texts from our listeners who are stating how they're feeling this morning after such a hell of a weekend. Here's another text on the Metallica concerts. Most of them have been positive. This one goes like this here. Goat trucking Jesus. Went to Metallica last night. Sent my son to get 3 Pepsis. He ended up coming back with 3 solo cups. $23 a piece.
Oh, come on.
Wow, that's not right.
For a soda?
What is going on, Josh? Why are we asking? Why are ballparks asking for $23 for a Pepsi?
I'll tell you, I thought he was going to say $23 for all 3. I went to I went to the Home and Garden show at U.S. Bank Stadium. This was last year, I think.
Here we go.
You badass.
And I got myself a Pepsi, and the dude felt bad about, I think it was like $7 or $8 just for a 20-ounce. And he just said, "I'm sorry, stadium prices."
Oh.
He knew it was ridiculous.
So it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet for Goat Trucking Jesus. So first, he spends $23 each for 3 Pepsis, and then he says, our Durango got ransacked in the parking lot during the show.
That's a bad day.
I was going to ask how much he paid for parking, because we've heard people say like $50. Or what was the high? There was a higher number, I thought, than even $50.
I think that was when Taylor Swift was in town.
Oh,
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and I think it
Mhm.
was darn near $100.
That's just crazy.
The friggin' Durango got ransacked. Thanks a lot, Metallica.
What is it about Durango's getting ransacked? The one at our back parking lot that we used to have used to get broken into all the time. we show up, it's on blocks, all the windows are broken out.
Could you imagine that, too? The kid comes back with 3 sodas, and then he gets yelled at from the dad because, no, I know you took some more money. It couldn't have cost that much money.
Nobody in their right mind would be mean enough to charge that.
That's what happens when your favorite metal band gets their hair cut. It all goes downhill from there. What's his name? Randy Shaver will be joining us in a half hour. Josh's News is coming up next.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency, OG, around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out.
What is...
Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
A lot of people came forward saying, oh, I saw him or he encountered my wife. So I knew it was obviously a larger issue.
The normally vibrant, bustling streets of Miami's Brickell neighborhood.
Oh, sure.
Taken on an uneasy vibe recently after residents claimed a man on a scooter's been repeatedly harassing women, asking disturbing questions about their feet. 33-year-old Megan Nivel, a resident there of more than 4 years, said she had a particularly unsettling encounter last Friday around lunchtime. While near the valet area of her building, she said a young man on a scooter began circling the vicinity, making increasingly bizarre requests.
A man was circling the valet on his scooter, asking really odd questions like, can I see your feet? Can I touch your feet?
As the man kept circling and repeating his unsettling questions, she decided to record the encounter and caught him repeatedly and creepily saying feet over and over. Feet. He's just riding around her.
No.
What is going on with what's going on with this one, Cubby?
Seeing if he's getting any takers.
Yeah, he did not. She posted the footage to Facebook, where she discovered she wasn't alone. Numerous women commented they'd encountered the same man, with some sharing the harassment had escalated to unwanted touching.
You know, with the state fair coming up, I wonder if that foot fetish guy will come back to our booth again.
Oh, yeah, I heard a rumor about him. I didn't meet Mr. Foot Fetish.
Yeah, he showed up a couple of years ago, and he was asking all the women behind our little 93X booth. He kept asking them if he could take a picture of their feet.
He wasn't interested in your feet?
I'll cure anybody of a foot fetish problem. Anybody. If you have a foot fetish issue and you're looking to kick it, swing by. I'll put mine in your mouth. And you'll never think of feet as a sexual thing ever again. But yeah, I was privy to this foot fetish guy who was hanging around our booth a few years ago. He brought a different vibe to the mix. He certainly did. He was breathing really heavily through his nose, Josh.
Oh, well, maybe he needed Navage. In one of them.
Can I take a picture of your feet? He even asked me once, can I take a picture of the girl's feet? And I said...
As if you can give permission.
Yeah.
I said, no.
In one of the weirdest challenges ever, 35-year-old Tan Boon Hui told a woman in Singapore he needed to complete a game task to get his slippers back by drawing smiley faces on her toes. After doodling on her toes, she let him. He took it a step further, adjusting her feet for a quick photo shoot. Tan, who's got a thing for feet, has quite the record. His offenses go back to 2019, including a stint where he claimed to be part of a made-up charity called the Barefoot Walking Society, just to touch women's feet.
Oh.
On the day of the most recent incident, he approached the 35-year-old victim near a playground, spinning a yarn about losing a game and needing to draw smiley faces on 5 people's feet to win back his precious slippers. Thinking it was legit, the overly trusting woman even drew faces herself. But Tan wasn't done and asked to doodle on her toes. She let him. After snapping a few pictures of her feet, he had the nerve to ask if they could be friends. She said no. Later, after realizing he was a repeat offender, she made a police report.
Was he, like that kind of a thing?
I don't know. They didn't go into the breathing details, but I bet he also put out a type of vibe. 56-year-old West Virginia Senator Mike Maroney's been arrested after police say he was caught breathing heavy, speaking of breathing, while masturbating inside the video lottery room of a business called Gumby's Cigarette and Beer World.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds cool.
I'd hang there.
Yeah.
Police arrived at Gumby's and spoke to 2 female staff on duty who said Maroney was in the back room on a gaming machine, but had been near an ATM machine breathing heavy and touching himself.
The Glendale Police Department received a call from 2 female employees at a local gaming parlor about a man that was committing an overt act of sexual gratification.
Unsure of what was going on, they started to watch him on CCTV and caught him masturbating.
Chief Vogler responded to that location and found Michael Maroney in the gaming room alone and was identified by the females as the person that they saw on the surveillance video.
There were numerous times when the senator put his hands in his pants and started to masturbate.
Pocket pool.
At approximately 1:04 p.m., it was evident Maroney was in the act of masturbating, police said. It's not his first run-in with the law. He was charged in August 2019 with seeking the services of a sex worker. That guy gets horny.
Yeah, you ever play around a pocket pool, Cubby?
Nope.
Just to see if you can...
public or something?
Yeah, make sure things are still working.
No, we had a history teacher, though, in middle school that he would always have his hand in his pocket. He had a reputation. I don't know if he was ever going for it, but his hand was always in there.
Yeah, we had the elementary school pocket pool champion of Hennepin County.
Also a teacher?
Yeah.
A Texas man is facing charges after law enforcement caught him taking photos of underage victims in an Eden Prairie gym locker room. Police were called after someone reported the Dallas man was taking photos on a hidden camera on his phone. Law enforcement later searched his phone and confirmed it appeared to have a hidden camera attached. A search of his phone uncovered at least 23 video files and significantly more photographs, all of which appear to have been taken in the men's locker room. Even more disgusting, most of the videos and photos depicted underage boys.
Oh!
Ew.
Overall, at least 63 victims were seen on video. He currently lives out of his van, and a nationwide warrant has been issued for the 50-year-old van dweller's arrest.
Oh, no.
A 55-year-old Colorado man, clearly having a hard time controlling his inner moron, has been charged with strangulation and child abuse after grabbing a teen by the neck and throwing him to the floor of an In-N-Out burger. The teen's crime, apologizing for accidentally splashing water on a woman. Officers were called to the restaurant around 1 a.m. August 4th after the 15-year-old and his friends were horsing around with water when the woman was accidentally splashed. What's a 15-year-old doing at 1 a.m. outside in In-N-Out?
Good point.
Getting her done.
He was trying to apologize when the man, who apparently enjoys beating teens over minor accidents, decided to assault him. By the time officers arrived, the man and woman had already bolted, but police reviewed the video and witnesses quickly pointed out the suspect. Again, the teens were messing around. They accidentally sprayed this lady, apologized, and he went off on them.
Got their ass beat.
You know, I don't advocate violence, but I'm just saying, if you called me one night, Cubby, and said, dude, you got to come to my neighborhood burger shop and meet me for a burger, I'd probably say no, because we live so far apart. But if you said, there's some crazy guy in there throwing teenagers around, I might show up.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I want to see that.
There's some guy in here throwing teenagers up against the wall.
A Hastings man is facing charges after authorities found an explosive near an elementary school. The 41-year-old was charged last week, a year and a half after the device was discovered in February 2023. According to the criminal complaint, someone spotted the device on the ground near a telephone pole by the school. Thinking it was trash, they brought it home and soon realized it might be an explosive. The St. Paul Bomb Squad responded, and because the explosive was found near a school, an FBI bomb technician assisted in the investigation. When interviewed by investigators, he denied setting anything by a telephone pole, claimed he'd never built an explosive. He did, however, admitted to tossing, quote, like an M80 or something.
Oh, that's it.
And he said he did throw it about the same time the device was found.
M80 or something?
And he said he also often walked down the street where it was discovered, but it wasn't him. Cops didn't buy the man's story, and the investigation revealed the item was a functional IED. DNA on it belonged to the 41-year-old Hastings man.
Friggin' DNA.
A Detroit man rear-ended possibly the worst car he could have picked, a police patrol car, after being distracted by eating chicken wings.
Oh, hell yeah.
The 73-year-old wing enthusiast was trying to multitask, eating wings while cruising down the freeway about 3:15 p.m. Wednesday. A trooper was minding his own business, stopped at a red light in the left center lane, when the man, distracted by the allure of perfectly seasoned wings, gently bumped into him. Luckily, no one was hurt, and the cars only suffered minor damage. Police took the opportunity to remind everyone that distracted driving is dangerous. The driver was issued a citation for that incident.
I like your theory on chicken wing lovers, Josh. You said this the other day. You said chicken wing enthusiasts are just too dumb to order a pizza. I like that.
Did I say that?
I do remember that, yeah.
Sometimes I say these things and I don't remember. It's like Wapple.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, Wapple allegedly says something on the air, but nobody heard him say it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to support your theory over here.
I'm just saying, I don't even remember that being my theory.
Well, you're a brilliant guy. You
we order wings and pizza at the same time. Have you ever tried something like that?
What?
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
It's called
Wings.
Devani's.
You know what I'd do? I'd take that pizza box and just catapult the wings into the garbage. That's what I would do.
A 50-year-old Sedgwick, Kansas police chief used license plate readers to track his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend's vehicles 228 times over 4 months.
Whoa.
He's also accused of using his police vehicle to follow them out of town. The license plate readers alert officers of specific plates and vehicle types they're looking for, but police can also search for vehicles. It's the second instance of misuse of the cameras to be publicly reported in the same county. In the first, a lieutenant used Wichita police plate readers to stalk his estranged wife. Chief Lee Nygaard won't face charges, but he did lose his police certification and resigned.
Well, there you go.
Then in Philadelphia, 3 people were wanted for stealing the license plate right off a police car. The suspects were caught on camera Friday the 6th, about 2:15 a.m., taking the license plate off a marked Philadelphia Police Department vehicle. As of late Friday, the suspects were still on the run. The mayor of a small Georgia town has been indicted for allegedly leaving a bottle of gin in a ditch for prison work crews to find.
Oh, really?
52-year-old Mayor Benji Carey Cranford had a bad idea.
This guy's got a lot of different monikers there. What? Give me the rundown again.
It's from, Thompson is the town. The mayor Benji Carey Cranford.
Dude.
He bought a bottle of Seagram's Extra Dry Gin. He dropped it in a ditch for some state prisoners to enjoy.
Yeah, the roadside crew, like in Cool Hand Luke.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation didn't find it nearly as amusing. After a thorough investigation, they arrested the gin fairy at City Hall, leading him out in handcuffs. The mayor didn't even get to finish his meeting before getting whisked off. He could face suspension from the office if a panel recommends the charges harm his ability to act as mayor.
I don't know if that's the preferred drink of a sweat-covered, roadside prisoner.
That's a good point. Just some warm gin.
Unless
Maybe they're
some
not too
tonic
picky.
and limes.
But in that situation, I'm sure, right, they're not picky. Yeah.
A 22-year-old Floridian named Cooper Conti made a strong anti-bullying statement after being arrested last week for driving under the influence. He was booked into jail about 5:30 a.m. Friday, and after posing for his mugshot, was directed to change into an orange prison smock, depriving fellow inmates of his unique fashion statement. A T-shirt, and I had to clean this up for radio, a T-shirt that read, "Don't bully me, I'll orgasm." I forget, Ashley, did I send this to you?
No.
Okay, shoot.
Gross, though.
They use a different word than orgasm.
Sure.
I wish I could say it. But
I haven't seen that shirt yet.
Yeah, me either.
Don't bully me, I'll orgasm.
I'm going to stay away from that guy.
The photo led to the resurgence of some internet favorite mugshot T-shirts over the years. For example, a drunk driver arrested while wearing a Got Beer T-shirt. A guy sporting an All My Friends Are Baked T-shirt who got busted for pot possession. An Oklahoman wearing an I Am Drunk T-shirt after being nabbed for public drunkenness. A motorist in a Drunk Ass S shirt was caught for DUI. A father in a Greatest Dad T-shirt was jailed for child endangerment.
Oh.
A man rocking a Breaking Bad T-shirt was arrested for making meth. And a man wearing an I Have a Drinking Problem T-shirt got pinched for drunk driving.
There's so many of those cute attitude T-shirts out there, isn't there, Josh?
Yeah, there sure are a couple of them.
Have you seen the Dinky Do? My gut sticks out further than my Dinky Do.
I've seen the bumper sticker.
Sure.
Didn't see the T-shirt.
Nothing but laughs. Nothing but laughs.
About 7 Oregon lottery billboards were turned off after being taken over by a mysterious furry. Oregon Lottery spokesperson Melanie Massaro said the LED screens meant to display the Powerball jackpot were affected at random locations by furry animation. One of the billboards was recorded by Reddit user Hangin' with Mr. Pooper, who recorded a billboard in Northeast Portland showing furry artwork of cats embracing. The art is similar to other takeovers across the country. Although the affected billboard is owned by Meadow Outdoor Advertising and paid for by the Oregon Lottery, neither party was responsible for the unexpected art display. Instead, Daktronics, a third-party vendor operating the LED sign, was the source of the issue and are working to understand what happened.
Have you ever traded messages with that guy Hanging with Mr. Pooper?
No, it was new to me. I hadn't ever heard of him before. But he sounds like he's got a pretty good sense of humor. And I bet he's got an attitude T-shirt or two, don't you think?
Not a doubt in my mind, Cubby.
John Stamos, 61 today.
John Stamos.
Oh, gorgeous, man.
Dog grooming, anal gland expressing. She texted in, sad shout out. Her cousin Lisa, her husband Andrew, they have to put down their dog Ghost. They have to put him down today. That's tough stuff. Been through that recently. I know how hard that is. So best to you guys. Congratulations to One Nut Jesus for hitting 8 years sober today. And best of luck to Rompin' Stompin' Tiger Piss Jesus starting a new and he says hopefully last job today. That's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
Foot that ass, foot that ass, foot that ass.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
That's Kramer on his shirt. He feels confirmed. That's a home run. Picture of Kramer on his shirt.
Yes, he does. It's Cosmo Kramer.
That's unbelievable. What a sequence we just saw.
And with that, we're at the point in today's radio program where we welcome our old bros, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you feeling, Randy Shaver? Now, last Friday, you weren't quite feeling up to a live broadcast. What's going on, man?
Feeling a lot better. Been battling kind of a sinus infection over the last few days. Feeling a lot better.
What'd you do, hang out with Josh for 30 seconds? And now
well, no, it wasn't that serious, but enough to put me under on Fridays.
Oh, yeah, those can be miserable.
Well, they last, for me at least, a long time, too. They linger.
We're sorry to hear that, Randy, but happy to hear that you're you're getting there.
Yep.
Getting there. Wow, long weekend for a lot of us. We've been talking about this on and off. Long weekend for a lot of folks. Metallica twice in town Friday and last night. Big Green Day concert Saturday night. Lots of drugs and alcohol.
Oh, boy.
In town over the weekend.
Sounds like a Wapple weekend.
I'm sure he had a little of that.
I mean, I'm telling you. Got some great text messages. Folks are pretty cooked today. So we've been trying to kind of go slow and not be too overwhelming for the hungover crowd. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Between the two of you, name 3 Metallica songs. Go.
Don't know one.
Sure you do. Enter Sandman. You got to know that.
Yeah, I was going to say Enter Sandman.
Well, he did hit one, actually, because they have a song called One.
Oh,
but yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
good call.
Okay. There you go.
Sure.
If they had one called Sinus Infection, he's got all 3.
That would be a killer track.
What would be
For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Hey, there you
Brad's on Google now.
Yep.
No, I'm not. I know a few.
What would be the loudest show either one of you have ever been to? Because I know hard rock isn't exactly, metal isn't exactly your scene. The loudest. What's the closest to hard rock metal you boys have ever seen live in concert?
What's the... Gosh, why can't I think of their name? The group from Canada.
Rush.
Nickelback?
Nickelback.
Oh. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You went to a Nickelback show?
Oh, yeah.
They're
Target
awesome
Center.
in concert. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times.
I love them, too. What was it a situation where your kids wanted to go? How did you end up at a...
I think I went with one of my sons and another dad and his son.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they're loud, that's for sure. Not the loudest band I've ever seen. But
You
they're
were
loud.
more of a chaperone.
Yeah, I wanted to see him too, but yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
What about you, Brad Ryder?
Well, I don't go to a ton of concerts. I really don't. I'm probably at the bottom. So I'd probably say Toby Keith.
Toby Keith was the closest thing to hard rock, heavy metal that you ever saw.
Can you guess the highest grossing rock tour of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Of all time.
So this is just a tour.
I'm going to say the most recent Guns N' Roses thing where they all got sort of back together.
So that's in the top 10. Coldplay, Music of the Spheres World Tour.
I missed that one.
945.7 million on that tour. They
Music
actually...
at the Spheres. Was that at the Sphere in Vegas then?
Boy, I couldn't tell you.
Well, who was the closest to hard rock or heavy metal?
The closest would be Guns N' Roses at number 4.
How much money did they make when they sort of got back together a few years ago?
584.2 million.
That ain't bad.
Boy.
And again, number
That's
one.
why they got back together.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Coldplay makes the top 10 twice.
Wow.
They're first and 7th. The only other, like AC/DC, they're 9th.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your Elton John, your U2, Rolling Stones, they make it twice.
Oh,
Chili
man.
Peppers were at number 10.
$584 million.
I guess I could be with you guys for 6 months for that. Jeez, you know what I mean?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Taylor Swift makes in one concert?
So Taylor
Probably.
Swift, okay, good call on Taylor Swift. Again, those are rock shows.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
So Taylor Swift, she has the highest grossing tour of all time. At the end of the Eras Tour, that's what this is called right now, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. At the end of this tour, by December, they think she'll make over $2 billion.
Jesus.
Good for her.
Offended Millennial Jesus texted in to say the loudest performance that Randy's ever seen in person was in the bedroom, if you know what I'm talking about.
Really?
That's right.
I think the loudest show I've ever seen
That's
actually
because I had the TV on.
That's the way to do it. That's it. Then you can kind of pay attention at the same time.
The loudest show you ever saw, Josh?
Skid Row.
Was that back when they were young?
Yeah, back at Met Center.
Well, when they were opening for the Bon Jovis.
For Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man, that was loud.
They'd turn it up loud back in those days. They would.
That Megadeth show that we had where we had our beer release party. That was unbelievably
Yeah,
loud.
that's a little unfair, Wapple, because we were physically pressed up against the speakers. You know what I mean? Not that Megadeth doesn't bring a loud concert, but we were in the worst possible spot of the entire venue.
I think my ears were ringing for like 4 days afterwards.
How about a Vikings game in the old Metrodome?
Okay, sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, they pump that audio in.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah, there were some loud games at the old Metrodome. Of course, Randy Shaver, I saw you at a Kiss concert a number of years ago.
Yep.
Randy
I wouldn't put them in the loudest concerts.
Well, no, because, see, that's kind of where I was going with this. You know, they've dummied down the decibel levels in venues now. because of the concern over hearing loss and things like that. It's kind of a widespread thing now.
I saw them on the Psycho Circus tour. They put on a good show.
Yeah, they still had a little bit of something going at that point. That was 1999. You know, I've mentioned, and by the way, at the Kiss show, I've mentioned this many times, Randy was dancing to the music.
I was swaying.
And you looked like you were trying to shake a turd down your pant leg.
Was he in full face paint too?
Yeah, he went as Peter Criss. You know, but I've talked about this, you know, going to see AC/DC in the mid-'80s when they roll the cannons out for the song For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, was a dangerous experience. It was so loud that you couldn't believe that it was allowed. And I'm sorry if the choice of words is confusing. It was so loud you couldn't believe it was real. The last couple of times I've seen AC/DC, because of these new movements or whatever to try to dummy down the sound and not make so many of us deaf, now the cannons just kind of go, and it sucks.
Not a rock show, but Bug-Eye Wagon, Jesus said, how about the old school monster truck shows at the Metrodome?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Though I was shocked how, and I used to go to all of them.
It'll kill
the
you.
First time I ever went, I couldn't believe how loud it was. And then when they moved it to US Bank Stadium, the new Metrodome, I had a friend, he wanted to bring his kid. He'd never gone, and I was warning him, like, just so you know, these are really, really loud, so make sure you tell him. And we got there, it was next to nothing. I don't know, because if they dummy down the engines,
the vehicles, yeah,
or if it was just the acoustics are different, but it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, man, they used to just try to straight up kill us. Here's a text. Judas Priest at the Armory last time around was very loud. Now, I've noticed that myself. When I've seen rock shows at the Armory, that's got an old school level of loudness to it.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
I saw Priest there a few years ago, and by God, that was a loud program. So there you go.
Well, the noise has got nowhere to go in there.
Yeah.
It's just like a tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Again, sympathies go out to those of you suffering this morning from what was an acid rock gauntlet over the last few days. And then there's one more tonight. Hundreds of thousands of people. I don't know how many 60, 70,000 people are going to go to Target Field tonight to see Def Leppard and Stinkin' Journey. And if you're silly enough to get there early, Steve Miller. See, Randy right now, he's going to try to get tickets.
I've seen Steve Miller. I've seen him once. That was fine.
So have I.
Rave review.
It was very good. I love Steve Miller Band. So
I saw him, when I was in high school.
That's asking a lot for people of our generation to do that on a Monday night.
I know.
Yeah,
True.
Not cool.
I know. That's a hell of a deal on a Monday night. All right, a real pisser for the Twins in Arlington, Texas yesterday. They played extras with the Rangers. The Twins came out on the losing end of a 6-5, 10-inning final. Sucks eggs that they couldn't get the full 4-game sweep. And the game, they had a 4-0 lead, and Alcala blows up. They score 5 runs on Alcala. And it was a fluky play that beat the Twins yesterday. But 3 out of 4 on the road is pretty effing satisfying to me.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And, the Texas is, last year, fantastic team, obviously. Very, very solid pitching this weekend, except for yesterday in the blow-up. Other than that, this team is, they're 2 games back. They're playing great baseball right now. Here we are, almost to September, and things are shaping up where the Twins look like they're going to be in really great shape to make an incredible September run. So lots of fun.
2 games separates the Twins and the Guardians. Now, Cleveland lost yesterday, too. So, again, the way yesterday's game for the Twins played out sucked, but F it. They move on now. They start a 3-game series in San Diego, California against the Padres. Game 1 is tonight at around 8:30. This Zebby Matthews.
Zebby night.
He's back at it, Randy.
Yeah.
Listeners are texting in on their loudest concerts. Here's a listener, Josh, who says there was nothing louder than seeing Grand Funk Railroad back in the day. And I've seen Grand Funk Railroad in concert, and they're a hell of a lot of fun. This listener says that the bass guitar of Mark Farner was bong rattling.
A few people texting about that Pantera show at First Avenue Thursday night. I would think so.
I was going to say, too, before we lose the baseball vibe right away.
Oh, no, we got plenty of baseball, Brad Ryder.
I was going to say, don't lose sight of the Royals either, because the Royals have won 4 in a row. They won 4 in a row. They're only 3 back. They're 1 back of the Twins. And looking at who everybody plays this week, Cleveland goes to New York. Twins go to San Diego. Those are 2 tough series. And the Royals host the Angels. So by the end of the week, the Royals might be in first place.
That would be weird.
Friggin' Royals.
Who do they think they are?
Yeah,
the thing about Kansas City is they're starting pitching.
Yeah,
they built starting pitching
Very
in the
good.
offseason with Waka and Lugo, and Ragans has had a great year. Those guys, when they start heating up and they've got a really solid bullpen, their everyday lineup is okay, but their pitching is really solid, and I think that's what's carrying them right now.
That's why I said don't lose sight of them. They may be in first place before too long.
We're not forgetting about the Royals. Let's check in with the White Sox and see how things are going.
Yeah.
All right, so Saturday, they lost to the Houston Astros. It dropped their overall record to 30 wins and 94 losses on the season. Saturday's loss holds special significance because that loss officially eliminated them from playoff contention. So on August 17th, they were officially eliminated from playoff contention. That's the fastest team to have been eliminated from the playoffs since they started the wild card or divisional era.
Wow.
Middle of August, and you know we don't have a friggin' shot. The 20+18 Baltimore Orioles held the previous record when they were eliminated from the playoffs on August 20th that summer. So now it's only a matter of whether they finish with the worst record in baseball history.
And they are definitely on track for that.
Mm-hmm. In baseball history. So I think I have this right. The 2003 Detroit Tigers finished with 43 wins and 119 losses. To avoid finishing with the worst 162-game record, the White Sox will have to go 14-24 the rest of the way. So they'll almost have to match nearly half their win total over the last 38 games. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
Probably not.
That's not going to friggin' happen. That's funny. Following the White Sox this year has been fun. Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers, he is on pace. Speaking of, certain pace that may predict something special, he is on pace to join the 40-40 club in the fewest games of any player in history. So as of entering yesterday's play, he had 38 homers and 37 stolen bases through 121 games. The record wasn't that long ago, 2000 plus 6. Alfonso Soriano of the Washington Nationals hit 40-40 playing in his 148th game. So he's got plenty of opportunity to set that record. Plenty of opportunity, Shohei does. The 40-40 club. Oh, boy.
Guy's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Just truly is amazing. And I thought I read the other day where he is almost ready to start actually throwing from a mound like pitching. And so there's that conversation that, he might, if they get to the, when they get to the postseason, that there might be a chance that he might throw a little bit too.
So he might pitch before the year is out?
I thought I read that he was starting to do some mound work, which would indicate that maybe he is getting closer to being able to throw.
Yikes.
So add that on top of everything else. That's pretty impressive.
We've been talking about loud concerts, loud this and loud that. Who here, when they were young, turned the stereo up in the car too damn loud?
Oh, me for sure.
Still to this day.
I put in a whole system that was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you were.
I had a system that was more expensive than what I paid for the car.
Did you get it at Best Buy?
Circuit City.
Circuit City?
Yeah, that was my first credit card. Oh, that was a mistake.
gosh.
My dad almost killed me. It was a $2,000 stereo in a $400 car.
Oh, my.
Oh, man, that's one of the maddest my dad's ever been.
You loved that stuff. For a stretch of time, that was really your passion with car stereos.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then the teenager excuse was, well, Dad, I just inflated the value of my car from $400 to $2,400.
I probably thought that.
I never had a car with any decent sound in it, but sure, when you're young, you turn it up too friggin' loud. Here's a listener who says he's convinced he only has about 30% of his hearing because of his 95 Pontiac Grand Prix. Listen to tunes on the way to high school way too loud.
Yeah.
Mine would be my 84 Ford Escort.
84 Ford Escort?
Yeah. It was painted with a roller.
Oh, wow. That's classy.
Yeah.
You did that or you bought it that way?
No, when I bought it, it came that way.
I had a 77 AMC Gremlin that had a plexiglass back window. And what is the material again? Tin... I can't think. Sheet metal. I'm sorry. Sheet metal for the fenders. Sheet metal fenders and a plexiglass back window. You had to do what you had to do back in those days, didn't you, Cubby?
Oh, yeah. My friend's dad, he had a Yugo, which was mostly Bondo after about 2 years ownership.
I love it. Houston Astros. We can't seem to get rid of those pukes. And Justin Verlander, I had completely forgotten about him.
Me too.
I think he's ready to come back, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten that he existed. But now, the sumbitch hasn't pitched since June 9th because of a neck problem. He's expected to be back Wednesday, pitching against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And they're comfortably in first place again.
Yeah, they got a big lead on, is it Seattle?
Yep.
They're going to friggin', they're going to, it's going to happen again, isn't it? Those bastards. Yep. Well, actually, one of their top players, where did I have this? Did I put that aside? Here it is. Alex Bregman, puke bag that he is. Astros third baseman Alex Bregman. He's day-to-day, or was over the weekend. Maybe he's okay now.
I hope he's okay.
Oh, don't start with your fantasy sports addiction.
I hope he's okay. Fingers crossed.
So you're well aware of the fact that he missed a game or two over the weekend?
Yes, of course I am.
Did you find out why?
I don't have it in front of me. I think it was a leg injury, but I'm not sure.
That's not what I have in front of me.
No, it was an arm.
He's having problems,
Okay.
Cubby, with his elbow.
Yep.
Oh, with his elbow. Okay.
Because he slept on it funny.
Well, that happens.
Sure does.
Yeah. He slept awkwardly on his arm, and it tore up his elbow.
Wow.
We've all been there, of course.
Older you get, the more that happens, too.
Yeah, but I wonder if he's one of these real squirrely sleepers that ends up sleeping, directly on one of his arms or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that can happen.
This is a great time of year for you, Randy. You got baseball going on and football draft.
Oh, if you saw my personal computer, you'd go, what in the hell? Yeah. I have way too much invested right now.
You're lining up all of your fantasy football plans and all that?
I have
and
been.
he's playing fantasy baseball.
Fantasy.
That's correct. Baseball season has about 5 weeks left.
You're a degenerate.
I am. God, I love it too. It's so much fun.
Lawn Barber Jesus, he's excited about Verlander making a comeback.
Oh my God. Okay.
Filthy.
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
Now, how about this? So this Alex Bregman is set to become a free agent this offseason and is expected to be one of the most sought-after position players on the market.
Yeah.
Oh. What if he comes here and plays for the Twins?
Sweet.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but I hate the guy. I mean, of course, he's a great player. Of course. In
Brett
that,
Favre came to play here. You were fine with that.
I was?
Sure.
Since when was I fine with that?
God, you were so excited when he came here.
Here we go.
All we'd have to do is get Jose Altuve, too, you know?
Yes.
Is that all we have to do?
Yeah.
See, that would be, of course, the idea of this highly skilled third baseman. Sure, sweet. That's what I say on the surface. But I just can't stand that effing guy. I don't know. The Twins don't need a third baseman, do they?
No. Not with Royce Lewis.
No,
they don't. No.
So there you go.
And yeah, Miranda can play there too. So no, they really don't.
Someone help me out with what this means. Now, John Kruk, longtime ball player. He was a great hitter while he was in the business. He was. Now he calls Phillies games on television. Tell me what this means. He wears an air tag so he doesn't get lost at big league stadiums.
That's hilarious.
So it's a little round button-looking thing, and you put it on stuff to track it.
Yeah, it looks like your key fob.
Yeah. So does his broadcast partner track him so that they can find
so he
him?
doesn't get lost in the stadium.
Yeah, because
somebody else must be tracking him then.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think they said in the article, Josh, his, the boys in the truck and the sound guy, the staff. Well, what's the term for it?
Right.
The crew.
Production crew. The crew.
Production crew. Thank you.
Yes.
They know where he is at all times because he goes town to town, stadium to stadium, and isn't terribly familiar with all of them, and he worries that he'll get lost and he won't make it back to the booth in time for.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people put it in luggage, or you can buy a collar for your pet and put it on there so you can track
Yeah, I
them.
want one of those. That's sweet.
Or put it in your kid's backpack, or maybe a friend that you're stalking.
Yeah, your ex-girlfriend's trunk.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's got an air
I have
tag.
to get an air tag because I get lost.
Every time we leave the ballpark, I am told that you are no longer with me. Like you're no longer in my area.
Are you the only one on his air tag?
Yes.
That's it?
Do you want to be on it?
Nope.
So what he's saying there is, and if you have an air tag and you leave the area, it'll give you an alert saying, "Hey, or if the air tag leaves a particular area, it'll say."
Yeah,
hey,
I have one. I have one in my wallet, just so that I used to lose my wallet, and so I put one in my wallet, and then every time I walk away, if I happen to leave it in the car and I walk away someplace, it will notify me that it's sitting there.
Your phone will buzz.
My phone will send me an alert. Yes.
Does the AirTag itself beep? Like, say you...
No.
That would be cool, because then if you, lost your keys in your house, you could just play
Well,
your
you can
AirTag.
you can AirTag your keys. I think it actually, you know what?
Yeah, you can buy a keychain with one.
It might. Yeah.
I have skin tags. They don't do the same thing.
Not the same.
I have an air tag in your wallet, Nick.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes. next to the moths.
Still got my communion money in there, Randy.
Oh, look at that, a $5 check from Grandma.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
All right, I want to get back to talking about skin tags here in a minute, but we told our listeners when we cracked the mics at 5:40 to be awake and aware at 8 a.m. Now, here's why. Just when we were about to dry up for a little while, we've scheduled another binge drinking event. Join 93X and the Half-Ass Morning Show Friday, September 20th on Paddleford Riverboats. Friday, September 20th on Paddleford Riverboats for drinkies and free food from Lucky's 13 Pub and live music from Joe. It's another flippin' booze cruise, by God. On to the next nightmare. It's another booze cruise. Oh, we're going to get her done.
I love this one simply because of the fact that there's a chance that it could be colder. I like when it's nice and cool out.
You like the September party for the cool weather. I like it for the same reason.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
This party sponsored by Anytime Bail Bonds, and we thank them very much. You can officially...
Very good to us.
They are nice people. You can, folks can officially buy tickets now at 93x.com.
That's what I've been told.
Well, suck me down.
They can win some now, too.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text RIVER to 651-989-9393 for your chance to win tickets to the Rock the River Cruise. That's what we're calling it again. Friday, September 20th. Good luck. This prize provided by Paddleford Riverboats. Good luck. Tickets are on sale right now. 93X. Oh God. Are they buying them up already, Josh?
They're already sold out.
Son of a bitch.
The website crashed?
Website is down. Oh, wow. Another boat party. I do like this one quite a bit. I do. We'll see you there. We'll friggin' see you on board that pig. So there was a guy that used to work here that had a lot of skin tags on his neck.
Oh.
I told you I wasn't done talking about skin tags. There was a guy that used to work here who had a lot of skin tags on his neck, and he also liked to wear a gold chain.
Ouch.
And the gold chain would get hung up on the skin tags.
Ouch.
So it kind of looked like, a coastline. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at a map of like the coastline of Antigua or something. You see, does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Well, it was jagged.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would get hung up on the, maybe coastline was too big of a word for a Monday morning. I don't know. But it used to always give me the willies when I'd see that gold necklace get caught up on his skin tags.
That guy, he was a little different.
Oh, he was different. He was
nothing to do with the skin tags.
He was a prick.
He always. Well, anyways, yeah, he was a different type of guy. Antigua, you say?
That's the first place that came to mind. Why do I feel like I lost everybody? I just feel like I've lost.
I'm here.
Okay.
No, we're here. We're just listening to the big announcement and taking that in.
Hopefully you guys are on the boat. That'd be awesome if you made the boat.
Yeah, Brad, I've never seen you on the boat before.
Lucky's 13, man. That's good stuff.
A minor league ball player, we'll close out our baseball conversation here. A minor league ball player made what some folks are calling the catch of the year Saturday, playing for the Hartford Yard Goats. They are a Double-A affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. So he's a first baseman. Foul ball goes straight on up and towards the visitor's dugout. He goes a-racing over there for that foul ball. Right in front of the visitor's dugout. He hits the gate there in front of the visitor's dugout, and he goes ass over apple cart. Managed to hold on to the ball. Looked like he landed right on his cranium. This kid wants a gig in the big leagues.
Popped up, first base side, maybe playable. Datras leans in. Oh, wow, what a catch! And he somersaults into the dugout, but he holds on for the out.
This kid landed right on his skull and still made the catch. And you know, he even had the presence of mind to check the runner at third to make sure the guy wasn't tagging up.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that was necessary or not, but he did it anyway.
This video is up on 93x.com.
Yeah, you ought to see this one.
Wow, that's a heck of a catch.
Yeah.
He really could have hurt himself, too.
Yeah.
Well, he got up like right away, like Nick was saying, and then he just like sat on the
he
bench.
sat
Like,
down,
okay,
yeah.
all right, is everything still working? Did I break anything?
Yeah,
I'm surprised those guys didn't try to help him break his fall in the dugout.
I think it's because there wasn't one swinging D in that dugout that thought he was going to go for the baseball.
Yeah, wow.
I think they had seen that play out 9 times out of 10, and usually the guy stops at the rail and lets it. This guy went for it. They just weren't expecting the guy to go.
Oh, man.
He could have ended up in real trouble.
The reaction of the other guys in the dugout, though, they're like, they must not like the guy.
No, they're just kind of watching him.
They're just kind of like, screw you.
You're on your own, pal.
Yeah. Man. You know what? And watch it one more time and watch the first base umpire. He about goes over, too.
That was awesome.
Watch it again.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
have to.
No, you're right.
The first base umpire almost goes over trying to see if he caught it or not.
The two of them almost ended up 69ing each other while falling over.
Oh, my gosh.
It would have been an airborne 69.
Oh,
I'm watching this for the first time now.
And they would have landed in the scissors position probably together.
That's a great catch.
Yeah, that was a hell of a... All right, so the Vikings played a practice game over the weekend. Does anyone know what happened?
They won.
27-12 Vikings, yes.
It's kind of sad that you know the final
Nobody
score.
got hurt, no big serious injury. So
After losing that McCarthy kid for the season, they signed a young quarterback by the name of Matt Corral to a contract, okay? Just giving you a heads up in case you care one way or the other.
That's actually not the biggest news, though. The big news is that they signed Stephen Gilmore. That's the big news.
They're pretty excited about that.
Stephen Gilmore is a all-pro cornerback. And the Vikings, obviously, with the death of Jackson and some injuries at that position, Stephen Gilmore is a guy that I think he's like 34 years old. He's a veteran guy. But he had a great year last year and was unsigned, and the Vikings gave him like $10 million to come in and play at the cornerback position. So
Well, he better be good. Or else.
Well, it's an area of need, that's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal from what I understand, this Stevie Gilmore. Multiple Pro Bowls and whatnot. Like you said there, Brad Ryder, they needed help at that position. He was the Defensive Player of the Year in 20+19?
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, criminy.
I mean, when you and if you read some of the columnists this morning, Jim Suhan being one of them, the feeling is because they went out and they signed a guy like that, they spent the money, that they're not, quote unquote, giving up on the season. I can't imagine you're giving up on a season when you haven't even started yet. But
I've given up on their season already.
I think that there's a lot of people that feel like they're. I think the over/under for wins for the Vikings is less than 7 for the season.
Well, I think there's a realization that they have to be able to be a really, really good defensive team if they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, probably so.
That's part of the reason why they went out and signed this guy, because they know, they're not going to score 30 points a game. They're going to have to shut teams down.
They're going to have to shut them down, Brad Ryder.
Sam Darnold's going to have to play out of his mind.
Now, the J.J. McCarthy injury, according to an article from NBC Sports, the J.J. McCarthy injury should renew the push for grass over turf here at the new Metrodome and other NFL ballparks. That's what they think. They should renew the push for grass over turf. Now,
I mean, certainly all of these teams can afford to change if they wanted to. I mean, it's not, cost is not an issue for that. If teams really wanted to make
they've
that
got
switch,
the money.
They've got the money. So the issue is whether, they believe in all these reports. I mean, we've heard this over the last few years about how there seems to be a push. I haven't seen anything like maybe Brad has, anything specific that, actually says these are dangerous or that there are X amount more injuries, leg injuries than there was playing on grass. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that either. I think with the multi-purpose stadiums, especially like the indoor ones with the roof like we have here,
right?
I do think grass is really would be really hard because you only would have it exposed during football games, concerts and everything else. You'd have to cover it up. I'm not sure. I know how they do it in Las Vegas, but I'm not sure you can repeat it here where they have a tray. They literally have a grass tray that they pull in and out of the stadium before Raiders games.
Just 2-3 guys carrying it out there.
It's really something to watch if you go online and watch them do that. But you can't really do that here with the climate we have. You can't pull a grass tray out in the middle of downtown Minneapolis in November and let it sit there. So,
it's funny. What a massive pain in the ass I'm sure it would be if they ever decided to go with real grass.
Yeah, I'm not sure logistically how you do that here.
And also, they make a point. They make a point in the article. There's no way to know with any certainty that the fake surface at the new Metrodome contributed to McCarthy's injury.
Exactly.
But they say there was no obvious hit to the lower body, this and that and the other damn thing.
But we've seen ACL injury. I've seen kids play basketball where they jump straight up and straight down, nobody around them, and they tear their ACL. it happens, right? I mean, for sure there's injuries that are collision injuries that you tear your ACL or you mess up your knee or whatever. But also I've seen those injuries where nobody was around and, it was just a freak thing.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed a high school kid. His name is Luke Emmerich. He's a safety at Monticello who just verbally committed to the Badgers in the spring. He tore his ACL for the second time a week before his junior football practice was to begin, and he tore it walking up steps. That's it. Tore it walking up the steps. So, I mean, those kind of injuries, I just don't know if you can necessarily equate it to the surface all the time. I don't know.
No, it's a 6 of one, half dozen of the other kind of a thing. You don't know. You don't know for sure. Hey, it's too bad it was just a practice game for the Dallas Cowboys. Some kicker by the name of Brandon Aubrey could have tied the record for the longest field goal in NFL history if it was a regular season game over the weekend. He hit a 66-yard field goal, which in a regular game, that record is held by what's his nuts with the up dog joke?
Justin Tucker?
Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, 66 for Aubrey. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was a practice game, and he hit a big field goal. And finally, 8th graders and other social media dorks are going after Simone Biles, the little Olympic gymnast gal. You guys remember her from a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going after her for wearing a Green Bay Packers jacket to watch her husband, Jonathan Owens, play football for the Chicago Bears. Now, did he used to play for them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
But,
He
boy,
used
that
to
is
play
kind
for
of a
the
mistake.
Yeah, that's probably like the
Well, there's
last place I'd want to wear Bears gear.
There's a bunch of pictures of him on. It's like a custom jacket she made, and it's got a bunch of pictures of him playing, and one of them happens to be in a Packers uniform.
Oh, okay.
So he used to play for the Packers.
Yeah, it wasn't
a
Packers
green
jacket, per
Packer
se.
jacket.
No.
Oh,
Well, it
okay,
was
that's
close
different.
enough. I mean, it was just a black and white jacket with images.
You're trying to stir something up. No.
Yeah.
Stop.
I thought she walked out there literally with a big
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
No.
Football fans, NFL fans are hard-ons, and they're very sensitive. So, yes, she wears a jacket that had images of her husband playing for the Packers. Now he plays for the Bears, and that rivalry is so deep and all that some, like I said, 8th graders and social media dorks wet their pants and went after her for this.
I wouldn't have ever noticed because it's black and white. Like, people were really
Right.
trying to find something here.
On the topic of injuries, ex-Hotel Sheeza said she tore her MCL making her son's bed, so carpeting is dangerous too, she said.
Exactly.
The MCL gave way. Freaking kid should have made his own bed.
Yeah.
Mom wouldn't be in a wheelchair right now if you would have made your damn bed.
My buddy slipped on ice walking out of a bar and tore his ACL and MCL. Still has never got it fixed. Just deals with it.
Yeah, some folks don't get it fixed.
Oh, I'm sure he will never have any problems in his life.
Some folks, they don't give a rat's ass. They'll just haul that around forever. And, he can tell the story at the bar, too, and make himself out to be a tough guy, I'm sure. Right?
Sure.
Chicks dig that. Chicks dig that kind of an attitude.
Yeah.
All right, there you friggin' go, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. We gots to get going. What do we got going on later on this week?
Oh, the State Fair.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh. I love the fair, Randy.
By the way, we'll be there both Fridays from 10 to noonish, somewhere around there. So hopefully people can come say hi. That'd be awesome.
I knew
You'll
there
be there
was
this Friday from 10 to noon?
Yep. Yeah, if you guys can make it, it'd be
Fridays, yes.
What did you say?
I was talking to my coworkers and Brad.
Randy, if you go, I'll go.
I'm not going. I'm going Saturday to see Nate Bargatze, but that's it.
Yeah, I am too.
Who is this Nate Garbazzi? And everyone's going to see
Nate
his
Bargatze.
He's very,
He's
very
a
funny.
comedian, very
He's pretty
popular
funny.
comedian. Yeah.
Everybody,
funny.
all of you are going to see this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
am.
I'm going to miss it, sadly, but
Never even heard of the guy. I knew there was something I was forgetting to ask you about. Randy Shaver, how wonderful does it?
It's wonderful.
It is, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you going to have some beers and watch the news and just laugh at your own coworkers?
Dana, I haven't watched 1 second of local news since I retired.
Good for you, man.
You're joining with us what the rest of us have done for years.
Yep.
Exactly. I haven't watched 1 second. I don't plan to.
Really?
Is that nice being unplugged from everything that's going on?
Josh, I cannot. I didn't realize how how liberating it is to not have to do those things. It's such an amazing feeling.
Good for you.
To not have to do that.
Especially in an election year.
Oh God.
Yeah.
When Governor Walz became the VP candidate, I was like, oh my God, thank you, Lord, that I am not having to walk into a newsroom every day and have those discussions about how we cover it, what we do.
Yep.
Not that it's not a very interesting subject for a lot of people, but I just unplug me.
Dude, I'm so happy for you.
Me too. That'd be miserable.
I mean, you think that I'm going to listen to 2 seconds of radio once this nightmare is over? Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
I remember once talking to Jordan Parisi a few years ago. And, I mean, I'm not a big NHL fan anymore. The way I used to be. Sure, I still watch I still watch the Pigs now and again, but I couldn't possibly care less, especially when you compare it to the way I was when I was younger. I was rabid about the NHL. I remember asking Jordan, I just started a quick conversation about hockey. Did you see that goal the other night or something like that? And Jordan said, since he put the pads away, he has not watched 1 minute of hockey. You just, after it's such a big part of you for so long.
Yeah, you live it. You've lived that life for so long.
It's a beautiful thing.
I could see Zach going the same way, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
He seems like the type that would
absolutely. There you go. All right, boys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for everything.
You bet.
Okay.
And we'll be back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Right now, text SOUND, SOUND, SOUND to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to the Gaslight Anthem. This will take place Friday, August 30th at the Fillmore. Tickets are provided by Live Nation. This keyword is good today, August 19th until midnight.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany, the budgetnista, can help.
Let's talk about the financials behind locks. It can be quite pricey, but as your hair locks, it needs way less product. When I had my fro, it was way more costly as it relates to products because my fro was thirsty.
No, it's very expensive. Yeah.
Yes, I need the whole bottle. So
what, a dime-sized portion of what?
Girl, the laughter.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, you young people just make me sick.
On 93X.
Can you even effing believe it? It's Monday damn morning. Thank you for listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. You know, I've received a few more messages on how folks are dealing with going back to the real world after bombing themselves with drugs and alcohol during this past week's Acid Rock Gauntlet. 2 Metallica shows, a Green Day show, a Creed show, and a Pantera show last week. The Acid Rock Gauntlet, and we survived. Here are a few of the messages I received. Blonde teacher she's looking for a shout-out to any of the other badass teachers out there who went to both Metallica shows this weekend, and they're heading back to school this morning.
Oh.
When does your fiance go back to work?
A week from today. She's not happy.
What grade does she teach again?
Second grade.
Second grade.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going in, though, to, get the classroom, ready to go with, pictures
she's
of apples and letters and whatnot?
Exactly. She's been in there decorating the classroom the last few days.
Fun.
So blonde teacher Cheeses went to both Metallica shows, and she's heading back to school this morning.
A lot of people went to both Metallica shows that have texted in.
I've been noticing that, too, even on, Snapchat and Instagram. I'm like, wow, both nights.
Props to you.
I even saw one person went to Green Day, too. So both Metallica's Green Day. It was insane. It's like, wow, that's a lot of money.
I apologize. I just got a couple of text messages. Yes, earlier I recognized the folks who are making their way home from Brainerd International Raceway. Of course, that takes its toll on you. By God, I know that very well. It's been a hell of a weekend. This blonde teacher, is wearing her Metallica concert shirt to school today. Did you ever get grief in the high school hallway over a concert shirt that you wore?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Who were the bands that you were proudly showing the colors for, and classmates kicked you in the ass for it?
Well, it was definitely probably a Tech 9 shirt, so older school rap. But it was people would always give you crap the day after the concert happened, and then they're like, "Oh, you had to wear your shirt to show us that you went."
And I'd imagine it's the same person with a ski jacket and all the lift tickets they had.
Yep. Yep.
And their spring break bracelets that they're wearing in the fall still.
Yeah, their bar bracelets are still on their wrist.
Ashley, what band were you repping in the hallways, and your classmates thought you were a total dork bag?
So I was younger. I want to make that very clear. So my first concert was Justin Bieber.
Oh, sweet!
So I got quite a bit of crap for wearing his stuff, and then I was such a stupid kid. I deserved this. I wore the lanyard that you got from going. I wore that.
Well, what were you, a fifth grader or something?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
The lanyard that got you nothing.
Yep.
Right. It wasn't a backstage lanyard. It was just they handed them out to everybody.
I'm pretty sure I acted like it was something cool, though.
Oh, I would have spun a story and said it was backstage. I would have told my classmates I had sex with Justin Bieber. I probably would have. Joe, what about you, Josh?
I never had one. The first concert shirt I've ever owned, I just got a couple months ago with you, at Mr. Big.
You never bought a concert shirt back in the day?
Well, I didn't go. I think I went to one concert when I was through high. I mean, I went to the Skid Row Bon Jovi show. Other than that, after high school is when I first started going to shows. That's how I started really working here. So I went to one concert before I turned 20. And then when I started here, my 20, almost 21, that's when I started going to shows.
I got grief over two bands. Where I wore their shirt the next day. Well, actually, yeah, two bands. Poison, and in my defense, Look What the Cat Dragged In was kind of a catchy record. I didn't know they were going to become such pop pukes. You see what I'm saying? This was before they got real poppy. So that's how I still defend it to that. But I did wear a Poison shirt. And a couple guys gave me grief for that. And then Europe, my Europe concert shirt. I had one dude kind of walk. Cool. I was a 10th grade kid, whatever.
I would have been proud to wear that shirt.
Oh, man.
Have you seen how ridiculous the concert T-shirt prices are nowadays?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I always buy one. They get me.
Well, what are they? 50, 55, 60
No, I
bucks?
think I saw Metallica was 85.
Yeah, everything's so outrageous.
Actually, I forgot about a show. I went to two shows. I saw Def Leppard in 1992. So I can't believe I forgot about that.
Def Leppard, okay. But you did not buy a shirt.
No, it's too expensive.
Oh, God, what else we have here on Metallica? Oh, listen to this. Best Hooter Server Jesus. Went to both Metallica shows. Saw the most glorious set of boobs I've seen in... Did I say boobs with a V?
Yeah, I think you did.
Saw the most glorious set of boobs I've ever seen in 43 years of life. Got her number. It was totally worth the ticket price. Did you really get her number? Best Hooter Server, Jesus. Boob flashing is still a regular part of the live concert experience?
The only concert I ever went to when that happened was, Wapple, at Tech 9.
Yeah.
Because they have, songs that are specifically about, a woman's nipple.
Yeah, they have a song called Areola.
Yeah, and all the shirts come off. All of them.
I've never heard of Tech 9. Okay.
Are there boobs shown like at a Motley Crue show or anything like that?
They might be sagging so you can't see them.
The only time
that was terrible.
The only time I saw boobs at a concert was at the Up in Smoke tour at Target Center when I was, I think, 13 years old. So it was awesome, except for the fact that I was there with my mother. So she was also seeing all the naked boobs around us.
She didn't haul them out?
No, she didn't.
You had to have your mother take you to the route?
It is the only way she would let me go. Is she goes, I'm not going to let you go by yourself or with friends. If you want to go, I'm going with you.
Does Tommy Lee still have the boob cam? Are you still allowed to do that nowadays? Maybe
I haven't seen Motley Crue in quite a few years. He was still doing that gimmick. I mean, it had to have been 10 or so years ago. But, I mean, I still go to rock shows, but I go to older bands. They don't do a lot of boob flashing at Styx, REO Speedwagon, Loverboy, Iron Maiden, Megan. You know, the older, they don't do that there. Certainly in the 80s, it was everywhere at the Motley Crue Girls tour. I think I could count on one hand how many women were wearing tops. You know,
That's awesome.
At Rat concerts and Van Halen. That was huge then. I just didn't know if
now
it
you can see it at sporting events. So it's happening all over.
Yeah. They're hauling
That's
them
how
out.
some people get OnlyFans subscribers and whatnot.
One other listener here went to 6 Metallica shows in the last 3 weeks.
Whoa.
What? Why?
He says, my old ass is exhausted and I'm up way too early for work. But this guy's a fan. He hit 6 of them in 3 weeks.
On Liver Number 2 Jesus, I saw him over the weekend. He was telling me he bought Metallica tickets for both shows really early, like 2 years ago when it was announced. He paid $90 total. You know, we were talking to people that spent several hundred, or Dana, you were telling us about tickets like in the thousands, something like
and
that.
that snake pit in that center circle.
I didn't know you could do that anymore. $90.
God.
2 shows.
Before we move on, I have to tell my favorite story from any Motley Crue show. I know they're coming to town. They're playing the State Fair at one point or another. I saw them a lot when I was a young guy. And that Motley Crue Girls show, summer of 1987, was one of the most lawless, craziest experience I've ever had. Whitesnake was the opening band, and at the time, if I'm not mistaken, the summer of 87, they had the number 1 and number 2 albums in America. So it was Whitesnake, the Still of the Night, Here I Go Again era, Motley Crue, Girls. It was just a dangerous scene at Met Center. I mean, it really was. People were so drugged up and so intoxicated. And I always like to tell this story because I usually get a few texts from older listeners saying, dude, I was there and I remember this. Before the show, so Whitesnake did their thing. The lights go up. While the lights were up before Motley Crue took the stage, a really, really, really large person lost consciousness and whoop, boom, down onto the floor, right? They had too many drinks, too many drugs, whatever. This person was as wide as they were tall. This was a large person that fell unconscious onto the floor at Met Center. And here comes the security staff. And it took a hell of a lot of them to get this sumbitch on a gurney and get him out of there. And while they're slowly hauling this person away, the entire crowd begins to go, oh, wee-oh. Oh. Yo.
No.
Oh, wee-oh. Yo. It was that solidarity amongst the fans, We just... If you missed our conversation from about 42 minutes ago, we're loading up for another boat party. By God, we are, aren't we, Josh?
We are. It's one of my favorite events of the year.
We're loading up.
Wish I could make it.
What was that you said?
Wish I could make it.
Oh, you
One
can't?
of my favorite events of the year.
We're going to rock the frickin' river again. You can join 93X and the Half-Assed Morning Show Friday, September 20th on Paddleford River boats. Drinks, free food from the wonderful people at Lucky's 13 Pub. Live music from Gel. They played last year. They were terrific. The gig is sponsored by Anytime Bail Bonds. And you can buy tickets now at 93x.com. Now, here's a big friggin' surprise. Some listeners have texted and said they're having a little trouble finding out how to click on go to our website. Where's the thing? How do I buy the...
Well, it's right up top, but unfortunately, when you click on it, that link doesn't work. But if you go just below the, what do they call that little scrolly thing? Whatever that is, on the left, right up top there, you'll see a link that you can click on, and that does work.
So any logo you see on our website that has Rock the River and mentions Gel and Anytime Bail Bonds and Lucky's 13 Pub and the free food, just keep clicking until you find one that works.
Go to the second one down.
Yeah, don't click the flip book, I think is what you were looking for.
Yeah, thank you. You don't click the flip book. Do the one underneath it.
If anybody passes out on this boat and we have to pick them up, we got to do the OEO thing.
Okay.
We got to.
I'll do that.
Dana's a big enough guy to where if he goes down and we have to pick him up, we all have to do the OEO.
Oh, yeah, Dana, you got pretty hammered on a booze cruise where you could have come close to passing.
Could have been, yeah. It was near there for sure.
You weren't drunk. You were on hard street drugs.
He was like on gummies. Actually, I had a couple people bring that up over the weekend, Dana. They said they talked to you on that thing, and you were in La La Land, and you were.
Yeah.
You were you're always kind of odd. You were extra odd that night.
Yeah, you were weird.
I really brought it, didn't I?
And you showed up you just must have overdid it, huh?
I overdid it for sure. And I didn't know this. Somebody said, "Do you want a seltzer?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take a seltzer." I didn't realize until afterwards that it was one of those weed seltzers.
Oh, and you don't smoke weed
and I don't smoke weed.
So there you go. Look for the tickets to our Rock the River on 93x.com. Let's get this sumbitch sold out and have some laughs. September 20th. And you're really not going to be there, John?
I wish I could. There's like a wedding I got to go to. I saw another guy I met I met a lot of guys over the weekend. I met this dude, and he's like, yes.
Lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
First he says, you look nothing like your picture on the website. And I was like, oh, I didn't really know what to say to it.
That's not a true statement. You do look like your picture on the web. But anyway, what else
so
did
he's like, was that like taken 20 years ago or what? So I'm thinking, okay, he's saying I look old. And then
You don't look old at all. This guy's 0 for 2.
And then he says, so you can't make the booze cruise? I'm like, nah, I wish I could, but I've got a family wedding to go to. He's like, hey, I don't need the whole backstory, man.
Whoa! All right, what's this dude's problem?
I don't think he meant to be a jerk. He just kind of was. I was like, I'm sorry to, throw all those details at you.
All right, number 1, he's wrong. You do look like the website. Number 2, no, you don't look old. And number 3, you didn't go on about anything and give him a long backstory.
I just told him this is why I can't make
I hate this guy.
You guys will appreciate this interaction. I had with a couple of listeners at Memory Lanes on Saturday. I was closing up my tab. I was chatting with them. They were going to the Green Day show, about to take off. And I tell the bartender, yeah, can I close my tab? It's under Dana. And the woman goes, oh, no, he meant Danel.
Dude, this is a great concert story right here. If you know anything about Kiss and their 1987 record, Crazy Nights. I went to that show December 1st, 1987 at St. Paul Civic Center. Anyway, Ghost Town Jesus. Speaking of getting grief when you wear a concert shirt to school the next day, went to see the Crazy Nights show. And my hardcore metal buddies started calling me Top 40 Tommy.
Oh, no.
I like that album.
It is very, very poppy.
Crazy Nights is an awesome song. I love it. It's so catchy.
I'm glad you like it. It's a very catchy song. Hey, here comes Top 40 Tommy. Went to the Crazy Night show. Oh, was it crazy? Did they play some Top 40 for? That's great stuff.
Half-assed morning show.
Put the candle back.
On 93X.
There it is. I've been waiting on that one. Welcome back to the show. We're about ready to up and leave. And that's going to feel pretty good. Asses are dragging from one end of town to the other. From all that's been going on the last few days. Oh, we've been talking about concerts, of course, with the Metallica shows and the Green Day. Tonight there's a show. Def Leppard and Journey and Steve Miller. Crap.
What?
Well, with all this talk about live concerts, I just so badly want to hear some live rock, but it puts us behind the 8 ball because we got to make sure we eliminate that audio from the podcast. You know, we get in trouble. Because you know what I want to hear so bad right now, Josh, is the audio from the 88 Def Leppard tour live from Denver, Colorado when they play Too Late for Love, the intro to Too Late for Love. It's killing me. It's killing me. You don't have to do anything about it. I'm just saying it's killing me. So we've been talking about concerts. We've been talking about the Rock the River. September 20th, we're going to rock the river again. Go on our website, buy a ticket. Josh mentioned he can't make it. He's got something going on. Josh can't rock the river with us. So the other 3-4 of us, we're going to have to pick up the slack. Sad Packer fan Jesus and texted, I'll get there. Sad Packer fan Jesus texted in, and he said, I'm sorry, if the talent is not there, I'm not going.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't think anybody's going to care too much.
You're killing ticket sales for the Rock the River.
I don't think, maybe I just increased some by not going. I asked if we could move it before we announced it. That didn't go over well. I asked my family member if she'd move her wedding so I could go on the boat. That also didn't go over well.
Have the wedding on the boat.
Boy, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Lucky's 13's going to be there.
Yeah, are you kidding me? You got catering all figured out.
I wouldn't want my mom around you guys, though. I don't trust you guys.
Killing ticket sales. Oh, you know your mom? You mentioned your mom?
Yep.
There were a few people who texted in and said there was another big event over the weekend that we haven't mentioned yet, and that was apparently a number of dudes were running a train on your mom.
I saw that. I saw that.
What else? Oh, I asked, is it still commonplace at live concerts for young ladies to haul out their breasts and swing them about? You know, I don't see that at the shows that I go to, but I don't go to some of the hipper, trendier, the new, you guys go see this and that. I don't go to the Death Mega Jesus. Said he went to go see that Bret Michaels character a couple weeks ago in Sturgis, and everyone's moms are still pulling out the hangers, he says.
You know what? I can say this because his family's out of town, but a buddy of mine, his wife doesn't know this, but he and his friends call his mother-in-law, his wife's mom, hangers. So he'll be like, I'll say, hey, dude, you want to go hit up a McDonald's or whatever? And he'll be like, I can't. Hangers is coming over.
Oh, dude.
And I almost said it in front of his wife, and he had to pull me aside and say, no, she doesn't know that.
Oh.
Never gonna say that.
Hell, you don't have to be at a live show. Vertically Challenged Jesus says she hauled her jugs out at friggin' Cowboy Jack's last weekend because she had too many drinks. You never know.
Hey, we've met her a few times. She's never hauled them out for us. Met her at the state
we got our state fair appearance coming up on Friday.
Yeah, once again, both Fridays we'll be out at the fair. It'd be so cool if you could come hang out 10 to noonish. We'll be there, and same place as always, right across from the grandstand.
We don't want to start any trouble with the fair, but Vertically Challenged Jesus, there's your opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, your call. Completely your call.
Hey, our motto this year hasn't changed from last year. We're sticking with the same motto as far as our state fair appearances go at the 93X booth. Buy something or get out.
Oh, are we? Are we going to do that?
Buy something or get out.
Well, it was kind of funny. I remember last year there was a couple people like, well, I guess I'll just go buy something real quick.
Yeah, I guess I have to get something.
What's the cheapest thing you have?
No small talk. No, none of this other BS. Buy something or leave.
Oh, Vertically Challenged Jesus. She got back to us. She will be on the booze cruise.
Oh, God.
Sweet. You'll have to apply her with a couple of cervezas and see what happens.
And we've been chatting again about, a lot of us could use a couple hours sleep after the last few days. One more note on last night's Metallica show. Here's a listener who says, I saw a guy at Metallica last night, and boy, he got a good night's sleep. He slept through 3/4 of the show and then left early.
Oh, no. That sucks.
When I was a big-time concert goer, I always did everything I could to not be that unconscious pain in the ass, falling in and out of sleep, tipping everyone's drink over, falling into everybody drunk. Probably some of the best behavior you could see out of me between the time I was 16 and 30 years old was when I was at a live show. I wanted to, I don't know, maybe it was dorky, but I wanted to try and remember everything I was seeing. So I would certainly partake, but tried not to be that character. I always thought that was such a waste. If you're spending that money, you're going to see a band that you love. Why would you want to be comatose for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I broke that rule. That reel isn't the word. I did break that rule. I wasn't terribly passionate about this band, so that's my excuse. I did break that rule when Josh and I went to go see some stupid Sebastian Bach band in the late 90s.
All the Long Hard Men?
I was the drunkest guy, not only at First Avenue, but anywhere in the city of Minneapolis that evening.
I would say Sebastian Bach is one of my top 5 favorite singers.
But that show was a garbage pile.
That show was terrible.
Oh.
And I hate saying that about him because I love him. I absolutely love Sebastian Bach, but that was really, really bad.
Oh, I was drunk.
Oh, no. I wish I would have been. Maybe I would have liked it better. I don't know. God, that was bad. Good news. So if you're interested in joining us for Rock the River, again, we just announced it this morning. That's going to be September 20th. It is a Friday night, per usual. You can go on 93x.com. The links are working, so everything's working. Thank you to our internet department for fixing that one.
We did it.
Yeah, it's all good if you're interested.
You wouldn't have to fix it if you did it right the first time.
No, I'm sure that was our fault. We screwed it up.
Off air, Josh said you wouldn't have to fix it if you did it right the first time.
I didn't say that. Happy 50th to Big Dick Hauling Jesus from his Cougar. Another thanks to those of you who keep up with the podcast and take us with you throughout your day. We really appreciate it. I met a few podcasters over the weekend, and it's so appreciative. You know, it's like you say, yeah, we'd love to text in and contribute, and sometimes they forget they're listening to the podcast. They send a text, and, you know, we're not here. So.
You could text in if you listen live.
Josh said.
Yes, and then thank you to everyone listening live who gave us your time this morning. Hope to have you back with us again tomorrow.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.